Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for day 3 of the test match between Australia and West Indies. Now, the evening session did prove troublesome for the West Indies last night. 37 overs bowled, 102 for 4. They found themselves at the end of the day. The night watchman, Anderson Phillip, did make his way to the crease and actually managed to, you'd have to say, do pretty well at the crease, even though Chanderpaul still wanted a majority of the strike. Try and get himself to the half century. He should be bringing it up today, though, and it will be just the second for the young opener for the West Indies in his second test match. So this is the second of this series, but it looks like Mitchell Starc will be in charge. The first over of day 3. It's an absolutely beautiful day at the Adelaide Oval. You're looking at around 34, 35 degrees Celsius. It's a bit warm here. It's only 23, and I'm starting to sweat a bit, so they will certainly be feeling it out there in the middle. Chanderpaul sitting on 47 of 98 deliveries. The anchor of the innings when Brathwaite was dismissed early on from some brilliant bowling of Michael Nessa, as you can see there. 9 overs bowled, 2 for 20, the pick of the bowlers. But Mitchell Starc now short ball down the leg side to start us off. And I think same thing as last night. Tactically, it's going to be Chanderpaul receiving a lot of short stuff, trying to play it to the leg side. He wasn't afraid to go after it, but maybe that is due to that youthful, fearless nature. I mentioned it last night. If he keeps on going after it, it's only a matter of time until you slightly miss time one. We saw it happen actually in the evening. David Warner only a few meters away from being able to take that catch. They would have had the West Indies in some real trouble. But Mitchell Starc, second ball, they've got a man at, I believe it's square leg, mid-wicket. Tries to whip it to his leg side. Chanderpaul hits it straight out to that man at square leg, Marnus Labuschagne. They've also got a man halfway in between the boundary and square leg in that same line, just for that one that maybe he gets a bit further forward. And then the man straight behind the wicket keeper. Unique field from the Australians, but a very attacking field for them here. And Fahima said, hello, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. If you're excited for day 3, showing some of Cam Green's bowling. That was the half chance that we saw for Chanderpaul's dismissal, but he's still out there, and that's the main thing. The pick of the West Indian batsman faced already 100 balls. Another short ball, he ducks under it today, and they mentioned that more than likely he would have had a bit of a talking to from maybe the batting coach or more of an experienced figure on the side saying, look, we know you're pretty good at playing that pull shot, but this is your second test match. You need to make sure you're not throwing your wicket away early. And definitely to Mitchell Starc, a little bit more pace on the ball, less time to react for pulling it away. And good afternoon, Hamish. Been a good day of cricket already. Just watched England women, the West Indies women again in the 50-day series, or 50-over series, I assume that is. Welcome in, Keith. Hope you are doing very well, mate. And are excited for another day of test match cricket. This test match, we've seen quite a bit already. We've already seen a couple 150 scored by the Australian batting lineup. Oh, no. Chanderpaul. Great throw from Mitchell Starc. I think he might have just got back. He was just sold up the river by Anderson Phillip. He was charging. Phillip was sitting at the non-striker's end, just having his morning cuppa, and went, oh, we're running. No, don't do that. And then turned him around at halfway. Mitchell Starc, did he get this one? I think my first reaction was Chanderpaul was just safe. But this would be a terrible wicket to have lost. Oh, no, that ball's going to beat the bat here. That is a quick throw from Mitchell Starc. And he is out. Chanderpaul's gone. Not what the West Indies needed for the early stages of the morning. And it's going to be Chanderpaul dismissed. That's a disappointing way to go. We saw him run out in the first innings for Travis Head. But what was Phillip doing there? Did he not realise that Chanderpaul was taking on the single? Mitchell Starc, great start to the day. And not the way we normally expect from Mitchell Starc. Normally, it's a nice in-swing and delivery. He says yes. He waits for his other batsman to start running, who never does. I don't know what the calling scenario was, but Chanderpaul, great throw from Mitchell Starc. And now West Indies going to be 5 down at this early stage of the matchup. And straight away, Mitchell Starc, he looked to the the square leg umpire, and he went, he was confident. But unfortunately, Chanderpaul going to be dismissed. Run out for 47. Once again, close to getting that half century. Just misses out in the end in a disappointing way to start the day for the West Indies. We have got the deserved 50. West Indies culpitate now. Yeah. I feel like, see, okay. So Philip left it too late to say no, I believe, because he said, okay, yes, yes, and then no, 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 no. And then that was when Charlie Ball was too aggressive from last night. It's only a matter of time before he caught up to him. Although, surprisingly, it wasn't the way we thought it was going to be. In a way, we thought it was going to be caught on the leg side instead of a run out. Lovely from Stark, says Zach. Good morning, 12:05 a.m. Everyone from the Eastern Caribbean, says Jake. And he'll learn. He's still young. Yeah, he's got a bright future, Chanderpaul. I don't see him losing a spot in this side at any stage soon. Now, I believe Jason Holder, yes, it is, making his way to the middle, playing 7 today. That was due to the fact that the West Indies sent in the night watchman last night, Anderson Phillip. He's still at the crease. Holder, he's got some pretty good runs under his belt, average of 30.24, and he's going to be bowling. We're going to be facing up against a solid Mitchell Stark. Well played by Holder there as well. And the thing is, Mitchell Stark, even though he didn't pick up the wicket per se, he'll still have his tail up. He'll be in form at the moment, getting a run out, something we don't really see too often from Mitchell Stark. Definitely not off his own bowling. Talk about heavy hitters, says Zach there. And they're just showing that one again. He took that last big stride to underball, and that was the difference between getting back and not getting back. But Stark, I thought my first initial reaction was maybe he took a tad too long. But yeah, Stark, he kind of at that moment where he thought it was out, and then he decided maybe it wasn't. That's well bowled, but well played by Holder. Always plays right under his eyes, Jason Holder. And day 3 is underway at the Adelaide Oval, says Shannon, and we've already seen that wicket of Chanderpaul, a man who I called the anchor of the innings. Unfortunately, that anchor has just snapped off at the chain, and it's currently still in the ocean, just a little bit behind, without the boat. Jason Holder, he is probably as tall as a boat, so he is now at the crease. Good afternoon, Hamish. Yes, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Hope you did enjoy the evening session last night. Already a wicket falling today for the West Indies. Currently trailing by 409 runs. You wonder how many runs do they have to tick off here before you get to the situation of Australia actually enforcing that follow-on. We know Australia like having a little bit more of a bat. The Adelaide Oval, they'll know in the back of their minds that this is going to be a big crowd later on in this test match. This game, to be honest, this test match could be over today if Australia do go as aggressive as they could, but I don't think they will. I think they'll kind of try and get a bit more batting under their belt before they head into South Africa. We had 2 their series with South Africa and Australia. And Starkey going to take 5 wickets, says Fahim. Oh, okay, plenty of spin and bounce for Nathan Lyon there already. And yeah, it was a risky run, says Zach. And I think that's just down to Chanderpaul trying to get that strike rotating early on in the day. Yeah, that's gone right up, hit him right next to the box there. Phillip sitting on 1 off 18. Oh, that spun a mile as well. Crowd enjoyed that one, but it is going to be nicely taken by Labuschagne and close. He should be gone soon. And I forgot Phillip was a night watchman, says Zach. Although, from what I've heard from last night, people were saying his high score is 84. He's got himself 7 first-class half-centuries. So the man can bat. It's just more of the case of he is a lot further down the order, and he doesn't normally bat up against this Australian bowling lineup, which can make all the difference. And that's where Adelaide and Port Adelaide played at the Adelaide Oval in the AFL. Geez, Shannon, I can say never been to the Adelaide Oval. Unfortunately, it's one of those stadiums I'd love to go to in the future. Well played. Behind the ball. Got to be solid here. Holder has the potential of tying up one here, I would say. He's got the potential of a half century on the cards if he can get it right. It's more of the question who's going to be there with him. They've still got Alzari Joseph as an option. They've already lost Thomas. Did look not too badly when he was batting. Other than that, I'm just going to have a quick look at this West Indies lineup to see who else they've got. They've got Kumar Roach. No, sorry, not Roach. They've actually got Roston Chase. He's an option. Josh De Silva, he can bat a little bit. And then they've got Mindley, who I don't actually know whether he'll be able to bat due to that injury. Oh, almost a caught and bowl chance for Nathan Lyon. Of course, we saw him take that one last night. That brought him to the most wickets ever for the Adelaide Oval. And Hamish, who went in the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals. I'm sleepy. I forgot to see Argentina versus Dutch. and Croatia versus Brazil says just so 2 very close matches. We did see it was, what do we have? I'm just trying to remember. So first of all, Croatia, they won their penalty shootout up against Brazil. So they go through. I believe it was 4-2 in that penalty shootout. And then Netherlands versus Argentina actually ended in a penalty shootout also. And it was Argentina who were able to get themselves the win over the Netherlands. But the Netherlands, they were 2-1 down and they scored in about the 101st minute of regular time. So these extra minutes that they're adding onto the game, they can have quite a few of them. Up to 11 now. Stark, straight across. Jason Holden now. He tries a couple in-swingers every once in a while. They're just showing that throw from Mitchell Stark. And sometimes when you're watching that slow-mo replay, as that ball starts to overtake the bat, you just know that it's slowly not going to be looking too good. Chunder ball, it's unfortunate for him. He was only short by, I'd say, about maybe 5-10 centimeters, but that centimeter, whether it's 1 or 10, you're still out for the run out. Jason Holden on strike, 0 of 3 yet to get off the mark, but Mitchell Stark, I'm expecting an in-swinger very soon. Oh, it's going to be the edge. Holder's dismissed, and it's going to be the duck for the big man. And that is a little bit of a weird circle we've experienced there because Jason Holder getting Steve Smith out for the duck. Now he has been dismissed for a duck of his own. But Jason Holder, 4th ball, he wasn't sure whether or not it was coming across him or swinging back in. I thought it was going to be the in-swinger, but it went across. Alex Carey with a good catch low. Holder dismissed for a duck. I think I'm jinxing everything. I said he could have got himself a 50. He's going to need more than just that. For the West Indies now, he's disappointed. And can Neymar Messi scored goals yesterday? I know that Messi got one and Neymar also did get one too, yes. And as I called it yesterday, 1 or 2 quick wickets. The tail gets exposed, says young boy Pete. And that is certainly what we've seen now. Damn, I do hope this isn't just a mauling. I want to see a decent match, says Zach. And that's the thing. Now that there's 6 down, we're in that scenario, almost into the tail. Australia, are they going to try and absolutely dominate this test match? Or are they going to give the West Indies a chance of coming back for a couple more days? At the end of the day, the West Indies, they've got 2 or 3 months off from test match cricket after this game. I'd love to see the Australians have another little bat, get themselves some more form. The thing is, though, it can be considered slightly disrespectful to the West Indies if Australia do decide to bat again, score another 300 and then send them in. But it also, to an extent, you'd say it's trying to get Warner into some form, seeing as he hasn't found it yet. Looking forward to that next series that they've got up against South Africa. All the bowlers, though, they've had a pretty light work rate. At the moment, Mitchell Stark has only had 12.2 overs that he's bowled today and yesterday combined. So he'll be still feeling pretty good. Nathan Lyon, he's only probably bowled about 15 overs. In fact, he's only bowled 5 overs, I should say. So, they've got options. And if Travis didn't get run out, he would still be batting, says young boy Pete. Tell you what, if he was still batting now, he'd have close to 300, you'd think. And we play again in 7 days, says Zach. So, yeah, it's more of the case of, do Australia want to give themselves a bit longer of a rest before their next test match up against the South Africans? Or do they want to have a bit more of a crack? But it is the West Indies who have got 2 months off, I should clarify, from their test matches. The next ones that they've got, it's actually up against South Africa in early March, I believe, or maybe late February, the next time we see them in action. And that starts on the 17th. Says Zach, it certainly does. And then they've got their Boxing Day test match at the MCG, followed by an SCG test match in early January. And also that means first, Argentina versus Croatia. Says Shish, I believe so. I think that's how the draw works. They're just showing that slightly fuller delivery outside of off stump from Mitchell Stark. They've got 3 slips in the gully to Phillip. Plays it nicely. And Australia will bet possibly after lunch, says young boy Pete. It's an interesting one for Captain Steve Smith. It's a lot easier to make the decision if they get these next 4 wickets in a hurry. You'd have to say, if you've got a 350-run inning lead, you do send your opposition into bat. Definitely on a nice... actually, to be fair, no. To an extent, I've just changed my own mind. It's 35 degrees out there. You don't want to be in the field. You wait till it's a cooler day tomorrow. Have a bit more of a bowl if you're going to. But I think they want to get these wickets as soon as possible. get out of the field and make the West Indies go back out there. And also, why did David Warner out of form? He just hasn't really striked it the same as he normally does. Like we saw him in the first innings of the last Test match, didn't get a huge amount of runs. He got 48 in the second innings, but it's still not quite converting into the massive runs you normally expect from David Warner. In Australia today, or yesterday, sorry. In fact, no, sorry, the day before, was able to get himself 21 of 29 deliveries. Once again, it's not too bad, but he was getting it out of the middle of the bat. He just chased the wrong ball, and I think it's that decision-making for Warner at the moment. He does need to work on a little bit. Mitchell Starc, though, final ball of his over. Shorter, outside of off stump. Anderson, Phillip leaves it alone. And pace is up as well for Mitchell Starc. 141 for the first three deliveries. 145 for one of the first deliveries to Anderson, Phillip of the over. It's like Nathan Lyon just having a chat with Steve Smith. It was actually an awesome insight that we got to have before the match started, listening to Nathan Lyon. And to be honest, like, gave me a newfound, like, I already respected Nathan Lyon massively, but it gave me an even more newfound respect for him, because Cam Green, like they've said, he's low in confidence. He's not batting well. He feels responsible for that Travis Head run out, mainly because Travis Head has gone to him and said, you ran me out, even though all of the commentators have said it was a 50-50 decision, that either batsman could have pulled out of it, neither did. And because of it, Travis Head ended up losing his wicket. But like pretty much throughout the whole of yesterday, Nathan Lyon in the field with Cameron Green, just talking to him, saying you're doing all right. And it seems like it's kind of that older veteran of the side with the young pup of the team, just trying to keep him positive, which is something that's hard to do, definitely when you are out of form. But Cam Green went for 17 runs in his first over, got himself the wicket though, which would have given him a bit of confidence. The Silver's not looking confident here, playing up against Nathan Lyon. Definitely not with a turn and bounce on offer for day 3. And also, Amish Steve Smith is good captain by here and there. I say straightforward after scoring duck. His captaincy is good. And also, Australia will bat and make a quick 200 and clear. Says young boy Pete almost dropped onto the stump for De Silva. He's going to get himself 2 runs there. Mitchell Starc fielding it in the deep. Does throw it back in. At the moment, Australia, it's a Saturday in Aussie, so they'll want this match to go to at least day 4 without taking too much risk, because you want to get that Sunday crowd in. Of course, you want to get more eyes on your side playing Test match cricket. You don't want to risk giving the West Indies too much of a chance to get a draw, though, because if they got that seriously wrong, then Steve Smith would be the man to blame for not getting the declaration right. But it could be interesting. Currently already 2 wickets falling in this first session. Only started about 4 overs ago. Nicely played by De Silva. Going out to meet the ball. Last ball of the Nathan Lyon over. We've seen him and Mitchell Starc at the crease bowling together many, many times over the years, and it seems like that combination is still going to be very effective. Shorter ball there. It will be the end of the over. Now, if he had a bit more confidence, De Silva, saying if he was on 60 or 70 runs, he probably would have hoiked that one away to the leg side. It was dragged down by Lyon. Ripped it in a little bit more. That will be the end of the over. 41 overs down now and 105 for 6. I reckon we play T20 for 15 overs or so once we get the bat, says Zach. And I think that would benefit David Warner to an extent, just to find that middle of the bat a few more times. The other option, even though, don't get me wrong, it won't be a popular one, but David Warner goes more defensive, and then maybe Khawaja goes aggressive, just so that Warner gets more time under his belt, blocking out the good ball, leaving the bad ball, just get him some minutes at the crease, because I think it's going to be very important that he steps up in the series up against South Africa if Australia want a real chance. Yes, they've got a brilliant batting lineup, batting right down to about 7, but you need your openers to really deal to that new ball. Mitchell Starc, nice delivery, still going across of Anderson Phillip. He hasn't really bowled too many in-swingers at all at this point in time, Mitchell Starc. I don't know whether that's ever since the new ball that they did end up having to get as their old ball ended up with a massive chunk out of the leather, but just doesn't seem to be favouring that one too much. Look, on the bright side, Windies, we have a full 2 days to survive, says young boy Pete. And also, we don't want to bat too long because we want to stay rested for the Safa test in 7 days, says Zach. So yeah, it's all about risk and reward for the Australians. Of course, they still need these 4 wickets. Getting out of the field when it's 34 degrees won't seem like a bad option at all. Or they're going to take the yes run. Marnus couldn't quite cut that one off, and it will be taken as a single to Silva now on strike to Mitchell Stark. Now, in the first innings of the first test match, we saw De Silva dismissed by Stark with a beautiful in-swinging ball. Solid. And behind it from Phillip, just playing the line of the ball. Australia might declare early in the morning after 2 overs, says young boy Pete. Maybe. See whether or not there's some early swing on offer, because the thing is, they mentioned it before the match or before the day started. Day 3 is the best day to bat at the Adelaide Oval historically. And the West Indies, we've already seen Holder dismissed. He'll be disappointed. Chanderpaul, if he hadn't gone out, we could have seen him get some more runs on the board, maybe get his 50 and then add a few more alongside that. But now they're into almost their tail enders, which is why it's so important that De Silva sticks around. Roston Chase, when he makes his way to the crease, he also has to stick around out there just to cut down some of that run deficit, keep the Aussies in the field a bit longer. Because, 35-degree heat, playing cricket in it, as nice as it sounds like, oh, it's such a lovely warm day. Nah, it's too hot. 35 degrees. Going to be burning. That's a great shot. Chopped away by De Silva. It was a nice in-swing and delivery. It looked like he slightly twisted the ankle on the way with the runs, but he's been able to get the 4 runs there. Decent shot. Aussie bowlers will rest up tonight, says young boy Pete, and we lead by 405 runs. Don't need to bat long at all, says Zach. Yeah, it's more just a taster, isn't it? It's almost like once the Australians are batting, they want a little bit of an entree, and then from there, the main course will be them taking those wickets on day 4 and 5. The Aussies have to get the Windies out first, well, I'll start cracking on about batting and declaring, says JA. Is exactly right. De Silva can bat. He's up to 7 off 9. I think Australia will be trying to get out of the field as soon as possible, but Chanderpaul, that run out was a gift for them. As he played again, De Silva, done very nicely there. Nathan Lyon, he's getting some real turn and bounce, which is where West Indies need a genuine spinner rather than Roston Chase. Because Chase, don't get me wrong, he can bowl a good ball, but the problem is he bowls 5 bad ones in that same over and relieves all of the pressure. Going for about 4 or 5 for his economy in that first innings of the day. Mitchell Stark, he's gone for 5 so far off this one. One last ball of this over before we see a bit more of Nathan Lyon's spin. Tapping the bat heavily here. De Silva, he seems like quite an aggressive batsman when he needs to be, but also that's a nice back foot punch straight out through backward point. I think Cam Green going to be doing the relay throw with Nathan Lyon. No, he doesn't. Nathan Lyon says, I got this one. And also, I think Test match could end today itself. There's a chance if Australia went aggressive, got the next 4 wickets, there is a chance that they could send them back in and say, we want this game over and done with early so that we can prepare for South Africa. We don't want to injure any of our bowlers. We don't want our batsmen to be facing any more deliveries than they need to. Very soon, Warner will be padding up. And normally it's about 8 down that Warner starts getting the shadow bat out, starts waving his arm around like he's about to be smacking some shots. As long as he doesn't get that inside edge, though, I think he's going to be all right. David Warner. Brian Lara takes on Rashid Khan in the nets. That's a good point. We need this test match to go to at least the lunch break because we do want to see Rashid Khan bowl to Brian Lara. That should happen, to be honest. It's only going to be another hour and 40 minutes away. We've had 2 already. Says Zach, oh, that's close. But it has just hit the pad. Nice bit of bounce there. We're not taking 14 wickets, says Zach. We've already had 2 today. I mean, if you're working on the math side of things, it's doable for the Australians. It's just whether or not they want to keep on. Whoa, okay, here we go. Anderson Phillips said, I don't want to deal with your BS, mate, Nathan Lyon. I'm going to smack you away for 6 on the leg side. That shot's come out of nowhere. He's just gone wrong length from Lyon. Anderson Phillip. We mentioned that this man's had a few first class half centuries. You can see why with shots like that. Smacks it to the boundary. What a shot. Come back, someone says and bowlers won't stick around too much longer, says young boy Pete. Oh, I think they've got to check the ball now. He might have actually hit it that hard that he's. Yeah, there's a little chip out of one of the sides by the looks of it there. Once again, by the same, whoever designed the hoardings haven't done a very good job because every time the ball's been smacked into it with some pace, the ball's been ripped apart. So it's either the pink ball's too soft or the LED boards are too solid. Oh, Nathan Lyon, that one was better. The inside edge onto the nuts and then ended up bouncing down onto the ground. No chance of a catch there. Brilliant shot from Phillip. Just went after it. Does he do it again here? Yeah, he does a bit. Hits it down the ground. That's going to be another 4 runs. Great shot from Phillip. 10 runs already off the Nathan Lyon over. No one's down that ground for the long off boundary. And Phillip's gone, if we're going to have to stick around for a little while, we might as well be scoring runs while we're at it. He's already got the 10. He's moved into double figures, moving up to 12 now. It's a good shot down the ground and 10 off the over already. Says Zach there. Yeah, aggressive approach from Phillip, but I think he much prefers facing the pace, you'd think, because he knows how much turn Nathan Lyon's getting, and he knows that having him out of the bowling attack would be actually a very good tactic to have. It's currently raining here. What? How did that happen? That's slightly unfortunate. There's actually a fair going on just a bit down the road. So everyone would have been all happy that it was nice weather, and now they're getting rained on. It's a shame. Just an analogy for life, isn't it? Nathan Lyon. It's all a little bit chippy. They didn't have the man close in that position, so that will be the end of the over. 10 off it. 122 for 6 now. Brazil knocked out Croatia in the quarters, and Argentina go through to the semis. It'll be Netherlands and penalties. Yeah, both games going to penalties. Very evenly matched, the sides. But tonight they've got France, England, Morocco, Portugal. We'll get to see all of the semi-final sides confirmed. All right, Kiwi says, Ryan, welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing very well. 64 metres that one's been hit for the 6, and he also smacked the ball straight into the hoardings. Got a little chunk out of it. And Kiwi Argentina versus Croatia semi-final, says Ryan. It is indeed, Ryan. It'll be a good matchup to watch. Be quite evenly matched. I'm just looking at the fact that it's raining. We've probably needed it. It's been a bit warm the last little while. Some water, get the grass growing. George will be a very happy man as he is in the silage business. Michael Nisa back in the bowling attack. They've decided to take Mitchell Stark out early. Kiwi India fans crying, says Ryan. And there, yeah, it wasn't a great series up against Bangladesh, was it? Now Nisa slightly pitches the ball up, and that is something that he did throughout the first day when he was bowling, and it was effective. And Neymar's chance to win World Cup is over. His last World Cup, says Coding. Yeah, it was a bit of an interesting football World Cup semi-final matchup because it was the case of Neymar's last chance, Messi's last chance, but Messi's now got another one. Today's game, Portugal, Morocco, Ronaldo's last chance. France, Benzema's last chance, even though he's already injured, so he's probably not going to get that chance anyway. Or it would still be with the squad, though, if they did end up going on to win it. Nessa, nice delivery once again outside of off stump. And Kiwi, will you see today Bangladesh versus India? I will not, sadly. They aren't actually showing it here in New Zealand, so I haven't been able to watch any of those other matches. West Indies trailing by 389 runs. Michael Nisa, 2 for 20 off his 9.2 over. So his economy is very good. Speaking of good economy, Scotty Boland also was very handy last night with that economy rate. Nisa pitched up, a little bit leg sideish, well whipped away by De Silva. This is going to be at least the 2 runs again. And Kiwi, I think Argentina will play final, says Ryan there. Although Croatia have proven that they're also a bit of a dark horse. They've gone through a few of the big sides. Like, that's the thing. They had Japan in the round of 16. Seemed like Japan were going to almost be able to get themselves that victory, but they missed out. And then Croatia. Seems like if they go to penalties in their game up against Argentina, they've got a pretty decent chance of winning it. Although Argentina also winning a penalty shootout. Hi, bro. Says Abhishek, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing extremely well. Hit to the leg side again. Michael Nisa's line just isn't quite the same as it was yesterday as of yet. taking a little bit longer to find that accuracy. So 2 balls left. Phillip and De Silva both sitting on 12 runs. Also, we have got there high Lan Kwe. There's a knocker there. And also, we have got there. Can you see, or you can see in Star Sports and Sky Sports Sky, says Ryan, not actually here in New Zealand, fun fact. They didn't decide to pick up the licensing for that series because I was looking at the test matches, India versus Bangladesh. I was looking forward to being able to cover them on the channel, but they just don't have them there, unfortunately, at this stage. And also, Croatia is like New Zealand side, dark horses with 3.8 million population, always in fight, except for the World Cup. For the football, of course, New Zealand not even making it to the round of 32 or the group stage. Shorter ball from Michael Nessa, just mixing up his length. Only 1 ball left. He's already gone for 3 in the over. Anderson Phillip. Got to pitch this one up to him. On the stumps or just outside off. Yep, just outside off. It's off the outside edge, but it goes to Cam Green. Off the bounce, and that will be the end of the 44th over. 125 for 6. And also, Neymar might have 1 World Cup in him for FIFA World Cup 2026. Says Nathan, also, good afternoon, boss. Welcome in, mate. Are you working today also? Nathan, do let me know. They are just showing the Oval one. Boy, it's looking nice in Adelaide today. 34 degrees Celsius. Very warm. So the last thing you want to do is spend the whole day in the field if you're Australia. And I think the West Indies, to an extent, will know that. That's why they'll try and bat absolutely as long as they physically can. Cam Green signing a few autographs at the moment. Just in between the overs. And also, who get today 2 wickets. So there was a run out. That was the run out of Tensionarayan Chandapal. And that was Mitchell Stark's bowling that caused that run out. And then also the other wicket was taken by Mitchell Stark and was able to get Jason Holder, which is a big wicket to get. He got Steve Smith for a duck, Jason Holder. But then Jason Holder was a duck from Mitchell Stark. So does that mean Mitchell Stark's the next man to get a duck in the next test match? Might mean that. He hit out. A shot out through cover. They want the 3 runs, and they'll get there. The partnership is starting to ramp up a little bit. Like they said, run a ball for these two. De Silva sitting on 15. Phillip sitting on 12. Who got today? Oh, no, I read that one today. No works today, and yes, the weather is nice. And warm, sitting on 26 degrees. See his neck there. Yeah, almost a heat wave everywhere in Australia, if I'm not wrong. Even New Zealand, we've been pretty warm, 23. Nathan Lyon. Interesting field placement. He's got 3 men almost. The caught and bowled for Gazza. That was hit extremely hard down the ground, though. Phillip gets himself another 4 runs. And it's like a T20 now, Phillip. And it's effective. Maybe you should stick with it. Just keep on going after him. Yeah, no, that one would have been a bit too quick for Nathan Lyon to be able to take, I would think. Well, we will go with this. Of course, anytime there's a nice day, my hay fever kicks in, which is always nice. So the field set that they've got at the moment, they've got a leg slip and Warner. They've got 2 men on the leg side. That's better. From Nathan Lyon, better line and length. Phillip's going to still be strategic with what ball he goes after. Lately, the West Indies are going at 7.36 runs per over in the last 22 balls. Effective from the Windies with a slightly more attacking mindset. Or just lets that one hit the pad. Go straight to Labuschagne and close. And do De Silva and Phillip names not sound like West Indian? Do they belong to South Africa, imported into the West Indies side? Says Coding. I mean, I feel like Phillip's a West Indian name, I'd say. I'm trying to... Oh, that's a shot. He's playing shots like he's from the Windies too. Another 4 runs over the top, out to the mid-wicket boundary. I'll just work out what island, what country in the West Indies Phillip is from. And this on Phillip. Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, I'd say Anderson Phillip is... what's the other fella? Joshua De Silva. There's a fly. Trinidad as well. What does this fly want? He wants to watch the cricket. That's what he's seeing some massive shots being played. Another expensive over from Nathan Lyon. And now they've got to make that decision. Last 4 overs, we have seen 31 runs. And also, we have good there, Sock. And yeah, as said, hi, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing extremely well. Hope you are excited for the upcoming test series that we've got between Australia and South Africa. That is just around the corner. The fly's literally on the microphone. You guys might be able to hear him buzz. Unless it counts as like background noise, they might cut it out. I think he likes the lights. It's nice and fun, isn't it? Nessa, dot ball. First delivery, still 4 wickets to go for the Australians. They got 2 quick ones from there. The West Indies putting together quite a nice partnership here between De Silva and Anderson Phillip. Okay, I think they've said that Nathan Lyon for now may continue the bowling attack. I'll probably have Boland coming at some point soon. Oh, that's a ball from Michael Nisa. That is the length that he needs, just outside of off stump. Threatening, because when that ball goes away, it's extremely hard to play. He normally cuts it back into you, Michael Nisa, but that one, very close. And South Africa bowling will be lethal on these fast pitches. Rabada, Nokia, and Marco Janssen. As long as Rabada makes sure his foot's behind that white line, he'll be all right. If he bowls a heap of no balls, I think once again could get the South Africans into a little bit of trouble. The last thing you want is a no ball wicket, though. Just something we've seen from Rabada quite often. Michael Nisa charges in. That's a nice drive from De Silva out of the middle of the bat. And that will be racing away to the boundary for 4. De Silva moves up to 19 off 20 deliveries. Quick fire runs coming here from the West Indies. This is quite handy because all of a sudden you go from the trailing of 400 to, if these two keep on doing this partnership the way that they are, you go down to 350. Maybe by the time you're bowled out, you're looking at about 250 or 300 run lead by the Australians. And then the declaration is more of a question mark. I believe Australia will be batting again, though, at the end. Oh, the big Yorker. Nicely whipped away. De Silva, another 4 runs. He's on fire at the moment for the Windies in Adelaide. Silva's test best was 100 not out, up against the English. That was in Granada 2021-2022 season. So he can bat. Got some nice shots here. He got an absolute peach of a delivery from Mitchell Stark early on in that first test. Batted a bit better in the second innings. Now, moving up onto 23 runs now. Bowling a bit wonky here, Michael Nisa. Just not finding his line and his length. That's better. Outside of off stump, you got to go with what you know. And that is something that Nisa showed in the first day, that is an effective weapon to use up against the Windies. The over, it's gone ... 4-4 ... A bit of a mixed bag, you'd have to say. De Silva batting confidently down the wicket, not allowing that LBW to be an option. Maybe that is what's throwing Michael Nisa off just a little bit. The fact that De Silva batting a good 6 to 12 inches outside of his crease. Last ball, coming in nicely, well bowled by Nisa to close out the over, and that will be 46 overs down now, 144 for 6 for the West Indies. It's a nice little bit of fight back, though, from the West Indies. I think there was that little light switch that hit them, which was, if we're going to end up losing these wickets at some point soon, we need to have a little bit of a solid foundation on the board. And that's what they've been able to do here. These two, nice partnership. At the moment, we're just going to have a quick look. The faller wicket was 102. So currently, they've actually got a 42-run partnership already. These two batsmen, Anderson Phillip and De Silva, they've actually been relatively even with the amount of runs they've been able to score. It's like they're sticking with Nathan Lyon, which will mean there's a few gaps in the field. They've got 2 men deep on the leg side. Now he's got a man at mid-off. I believe that's to stop that shot down the ground that that Phillip used the last over. Ooh, okay. Phillip looked like he was going to possibly go up that one a little bit and then decided it was the wrong ball, just played the block. Got him behind it nicely. Steve Smith slip on the offside. David Warner slip on the leg side. And Travis Head was taken out from in close. Got him down the ground now. That was a bit uppish. They're going to take a good single. Well done from Anderson Phillip. Deep Scotty Boland, so they were able to get another run there for the West Indies. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I believe today, the only session that we've got is going to be session number 1. But tomorrow, I believe we will also have session number 1, and then maybe some of the other sessions of the day. It all depends on when the sevens is taking place and when the other matches we cover do happen as well. Now, Nathan Lyon swinging or spinning that one nicely, I should say. And also we've got India and Australia, greatest teams ever, says Praveen there. And there's a chance that those two sides could be in the World Test Championship final. Be an entertaining match. Oh, yeah, no, that one smacked Marnus in the head because it did hit some foot marks or some rough on the side of the pitch. One ball left of Nathan Lyon. Just the one ball so far off the over to Silva. Sorry, the one run rather than the one ball. That fly once again. Just chilling for some reason. I always wonder what flies actually do when there's not like something that needs to be broken down. That's a ball and a half. One almost spun the other way. Nathan Lyon gave him the wrong one. It'll be 145 for 6. The end of the 47th. So Australia, they've got 33 more overs until they get that new ball. Pakistan and South Africa also in the race for the World Test Championship. There's coding there. That reminds me, Pakistan versus England going to be coming back relatively soon. Just have a quick look and see what the score is in that one. I know that Babar Azam is still at the crease. Yep, 107 for 2. Nice work here for Pakistan. Looking to chase down that 281 that the English were able to score off only 51.4 overs. But even Pakistan are going at almost 4 and over, so they know that this is a wicket you cannot afford to take your time on, or else you will end up in that situation of a drawn test match. A few people in attendance for this match at Adelaide Oval. Anyone who's found the shade, very strategic move. Nisa pitches it up outside of off stump again. He was an expensive over last time, Michael Nisa. I was talking about how he was 2 for 20. He actually almost went for 11 off that last over, I believe. Somewhere around there. Anderson Phillip, first class best is actually 36. Okay, so the person who told us that he had first class half centuries was lying. Unless they had Anderson Phillip confused with someone else. So his best is actually only 36, Anderson. We'll be looking, continue going towards that. Scores them in a hurry normally, though. That's a shot over the top. Decides to lob it. It's going to be effective. I don't believe it's going to race to the boundary. No, nice fielding from Nathan Lyon. Good relay throw, but good running between the wickets for the West Indies. Phillip moves up to 24. And De Silva now will have the strike back. I hope you remember me, says Rajni. I do. It was only yesterday that we saw you last. Some good running between the wickets, though, from the West Indies. De Silva going to the danger end. He left a little bit earlier than Anderson Phillip. They managed to get there relatively comfortably. 46-run partnership currently between these two guys. Sitting on 148 runs on the board for the West Indies currently. Yes, outside of off stump once again. Just left alone. What do you eat in breakfast? I had some Wheat Bix and some milk. Pretty basic, stock standard breakfast here in New Zealand, I guess, but I had it at about maybe 4:30 p.m. That was somewhere around where I woke up. I think I woke up at about 3:50 p.m. Somewhere around there. Seemed like a good enough sleep, seeing as we did stay up quite late last night doing the sevens. Now Nisa. It's a better ball. Getting a little bit closer to what he was bowling last night. What do you have for breakfast, Rajni? says Nate. Passes ball from Nessa, 138. What do you eat in lunch? Says Jay. Mm. My lunch is always at like 12 at night, innit? Jay, meet Rajni. I'm sure you two will have a lot of fun together, depending on how this chat goes. Nicely bowled again. Ball swinging back in a little bit. Uh, Just the 3 runs scored. Oh, the Cathedral, there's a wedding taking place at the moment. How much can Josh make? I think he's going to get a few runs today. Although the last time I said that about a batsman, it was Jason Holder, and I said he could get a half century. 2 balls later, he went out. So I don't want to jinx it too much. But De Silva, I think I'm not going to say he's going to get 50 because I feel like I'll jinx that, but he'll get 40 ish. That's Hayden getting married. Wouldn't even surprise me, Jay. I think the tactic that we've learned from him is whatever advice we give him, he'll do the opposite and then go, "Oh, it's gone wrong. Why has it gone wrong?" And it's like, "Well, because you didn't do what we told you to." How are you, says Mahak. And he goes, "Oh." And I was like, there, "What does your breakfast taste like?" Says Nate. Showing the half chances at times from Philip, but then they're also showing some brilliant shots that he's been able to play. Getting that ball to the boundary. The Silver's the same. Only a 46-run partnership between the two individuals at the crease. 52 balls as well. It's relatively effective. Just ticking it over. Run a ball almost territory here between them. Okay, the drinks are on the field. So they're 15 minutes away from the actual drinks break, but you can understand why they need drinks when it is sitting about 35 degrees. Might be a good idea to stay hydrated. And Silver, I think, was losing quite a bit of water through his forehead, sweating frantically before. Like India or England? Are we talking in cricket or in general, Rajni? Because, of course, well, I mean, it probably doesn't change it too much. So we're talking cricket, and if we are, we talking all formats or just one? And also, I think Rajni is from India or Bangladesh, says Mahak there. I think you are correct. I believe he's from India. Oh, I'm not wrong, and neither says Jay. It's that Ashes series, isn't it? It was always intense between the English and the Australians, although it wasn't really competitive this year, unfortunately, or last year. It's like they'll take the 2 runs, well run between the wickets. Like they're saying, the Australians will be disappointed with the fact that they're starting to concede quite a few easy runs. And cricket, yes, says Rajni. I mean, it does depend on the format. I enjoy the passion that India show. England, they've got a newfound test style that seems to be relatively effective at the moment. I've been enjoying watching it. Brendan McCullum, of course, a Kiwi in there. I think this is an they're checking. Wait, they're checking for a one short. Ah, one short. Okay. Well, there you go. Going to be one short. That's actually very well called by the umpire there. Tell my answers, says Rajni, and tell his answers, says Jay. I think Rajni is girl name in India, not boy, says Mahak. Although he was telling me yesterday that he has a girlfriend. So I would assume he is a. Oh, I mean, he could have a girlfriend if he's a girl. No, he could have a boy. Could have a girlfriend if he's a girl. Maybe. We've never actually found out if Rajni is a boy or a girl, to be fair. And do you like Pakistan or Sri Lanka? Rajni, nicely played by Philip there. 25 on the board currently for Philip. But yeah, just the one short run. And also we good there in Spain. So yeah, that's the one. And no, bro, I am boy. And Bish, I could have I could be his boyfriend, says Jay. Oh no, that's the other one, isn't it? That's Bish. I'm getting Rajni and Bish confused. His girlfriend in where he's from, I believe. And Jessica got a girlfriend now, says Nate. And I think Rajni is a bot, says Mark. One ball left of the Nathan line over. Oh, uppish a little bit. They take the single down the ground. It's going to be the end of it. 150 on the ball for the West Indies. Very well batted. Yeah. Doesn't look like these two are going anywhere anytime soon. I don't know, Shisho meant says Jay. India or England, says Rajni. Cricket wise, I mean, strategically, I should say England, shouldn't I? Because they did win the most recent World Cup that was available, which was the T20 World Cup. So for that reason, I'd go England because they're the current informed team, and India have actually lost their last two. So I'll go England just for now, but don't be offended. Discover your channel on YouTube. Search, did you? It's quite a good effort. Because depending on whether or not he's got any videos on his channel, it may have been almost impossible to find. And I said, "Do you like Bubba?" Says Jay. Looks like Scotty Boland now into the bowling attack. The wind's picked up here as well. I hope they've packed up the strawberry fair here, or else people are going to get very wet, and it's not going to be an enjoyable experience because they've got all the canopies or the gazebos. So pretty much the wind, they'll just straight up and straight under them. Gazebos flying everywhere. Could be interesting to watch. Not for the people there. Scotty Boland. Bowling to Anderson Silva. Oh, it's over the head of Boland. Great shot down the ground. It's going to be a foot race, I believe. Where's the ball? The cameraman did not find it. Labuschagne. Oh, no. He's just jogging it onto the rope. He did all the hard work of chasing it down, but just wasn't able to get it. Virat or Butler, says Rasni there. And Ponting, says Jay Hayes. That's a 50-run partnership as well between these two. Very nicely done by the West Indies. Like they've said, Anderson, Phillip, he doesn't care if he has to hit that ball in the air. It's gone just over the top of Scotty Boland. And morning there, Rocket Kiwi lads, sports fanatic. Hope all is good, Amish. I'm betting on Fiji to win the Cape Town Sevens after seeing them in action last night, says Roof. Yeah, they looked very strong, although their next game is actually going to be up against the South Africans. So that will be a very good game to watch. One that we'll have close eye on. I believe that's taking place at about 10 p.m. New Zealand time. Big swing of the bat. It's just cleared the fend mid-wicket way. And Vegemite or peanut butter, Rajni boy? Says Nate. Now that is a good question. I feel like if out of those two, I know I wasn't asked the question, but am I the only one who slightly feels peanut butter, like on bread or toast or anything, isn't as good as some people say it is? That's probably offended people. Bob's on the jeans. And what the F, says Rajni there. Bowling now. It's nice shot down the ground. Done nicely there. Tell my answer, says Rajni. So Virat or Butler, we're going off current form. I believe Butler's in better form too, isn't he? He's got a World Cup in his cupboard. So I'll go Butler just for now. But back in the day, you'd have to go Virat Kohli. Better on toast, to be honest. And also, have you had something healthy to eat yet? Says Ruth. The Nate there. The best for Phillip in first class, 36 runs. He's only one boundary away. It's better on toast. Do you put anything else with it on the toast, Nate? So I know the Americans, they do peanut butter and jelly, but it's just our jam in it. It's a nice and swinging delivery from Boland. Still continuing to stay. You are man. Is that an L? It might be an L. The way it looks is kind of like, who's that? Is that an Indian batsman's name? Iyer. Who's he? He's about middle order. Iyer is best. I didn't realize Iyer was an option. It wasn't one of the two. I was like, Google. What's he to say for that is best? And I'm working on a roof, thinking Uber Eats. As Nate, that's a good ball. It's a little noise there. Not sure what that noise was. My mum's looking at me. Hello, mum. 2 quick wickets falling. Chunder Paul ended up getting run out by Mitchell Stark on about the third one. Right. Australia think they might have had a little edge there, but they didn't review it. 156 for 6. Yep. Jason Holder out for a duck. Very close. There was a little bit of a noise. Just wasn't the bat. And then it was. Boland, final ball of his over. It's been an expensive one because, oh, great straight drive. They want the single run out opportunity that go the wicket keeper's end. Like they've said, the bowler's end might have been an option too. Shiryas Aya says Rajni there. That'll be the end of the 50th over. 157 for 6. How close was the run out opportunity there? Or the Australians' bowler's end? One that I was looking at a little bit more closely. When does the ball pass? Oh, he would have had him out at the bowler's end if he had gone for it. And I was like, Rajni, tell me Virat versus Rohit versus Virat, who was best. I don't like New Zealand team, says Rajni there. Okay. Is that because they beat you in the World Test Championship final? Possibly. But they aren't there this year, though, so you got that you can say over them. And New Zealand team hates you too, Rajni, says Jay. Oh, real? Just woke up 30 minutes ago, got home 4 a.m., went to bed 9 a.m. route, says Nate. Now, Nathan Lyon. It is. It is. Is the Strawberry Fair still going? Ah. Okay, so they weren't dealing with the wind or the rain. Ladies and gentlemen, the Strawberry Fair, they already packed up today. About 20 minutes ago. They get in a bit breezy at one stage for a couple minutes. That's a big swing of the bat from Phillip. He's cleared the field, and this will be a new high score for him. Bye, bro. Says Rasni. We'll see you later on, bud. You do enjoy the rest of your day. Rajni is trying to make you angry and block him, says Mahak. He's not doing a very good job, to be honest. Like, I feel like I haven't hit even one slight octave angrier throughout Rajni being in the chat. I mean, we did school him yesterday, though, which I feel like might have been why he's come back for round 2. And also, do you have a shower or bath, Rajni? Says Nate. That's a great question. West Indies trailing by 350 runs currently. They do need some more runs on the board, but they're getting them at quite a frantic rate at the moment, so there's nothing bad with the way they're going. I was a fan of that New Zealand bowler with curly hair, beautiful eyes, Kyle Mills, from a few years back. Do you remember him, Amish? I certainly do. Actually played in the Black Clash more recently, the team rugby versus team cricket T20. Was a part of one of those a little bit more recently. I think that's actually coming back this year as well in January. That we'll be having team rugby versus team cricket. Now, Nathan Lyon. That's a better ball, a little bit lobby. Warner's almost in a straight catching position here, halfway down the pitch. And like they've said, Nathan Lyon, they've changed the field. So because of that, maybe Phillip will go to different regions of the ground he hasn't already hit the ball to. He's playing extremely well, though. Or cheaper to call the fire brigade. Who's that? They were down. And also, Phillip on fire, bro, says Rajni. Is indeed. End of the over, 6 for 161. It wasn't that long ago that we were just saying, and the 150's up for the West Indies. I think that was 2 overs ago. They are still adding quite a few more runs on the board. They've still got a couple batsmen can do decently. You got Roston Chase. You've got Alzari Joseph, and then you got Minley, who I don't believe can. I don't know if he's going to be batting because of his injury. He might still go out there, though, see how he goes for a bit of a swing. Hit that like button. It's free, says Jay Hayes. You heard the man. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Got 7s later on tonight. We've got some more cricket coming up in the near future, whether that's South Africa versus Australia or whether it's going to be the T20 competition in Australia, the BBL coming back only a few days' time. Scotty Boland charges in. Nicely played by De Silva. He's playing it now with a little bit more strategy, De Silva. He was in a frantic hitting run fest for a stage. Now it's gone back to just trying to make sure he's out there a little bit longer. Should be 7 wickets. Nessa, or taken if Nessa had any common sense, says Zach there. And as I see you soon on your other account, Rajni, says Nathan, also Rajni boy, are you saying you are going or not? Says Mahak there. I assume by Nathan's comment, maybe Nathan timed out Rajni. Oh, nicely done. He's actually finding Nessa's line better than Nessa was finding his line earlier on. Which is nice. So another 29 overs till the new ball. Dripping in sweat for De Silva. Alex Carey and Ian Smith is a combination in the commentary box that some probably didn't know that they needed, but they will be very happy to hear it. Well bowled. It's straighter from Boland. Good length though. And with pleasure, boss, says Nate. There as well. What is that brand of bat that De Silva's got? It's got a big W on it. All I can think of is Willow, but there'll be a brand. It doesn't have a lot of advertising on it. It's just a big W. Maybe that's for wicketkeeper. Maybe he needs to remind himself. What did David Warner just throw at Steve Snow? He just threw a bit of grass at him. Still on outside off stump. And De Silva, they're talking about the fact that they're pitching that ball up, seeing if he wants to go for it. And enjoy the kick at my guy. It's free, says Nate there. Okay, he's not as far out for Nisa, but still relatively far out of his crease. Just wondering. Because I'm just thinking, I just said that, but Cam Green might not be a bad bowling choice here at some stage soon. And then also, if you can, get Alex Carey up to the stumps. Might be an idea. Just because we actually saw Thomas, he managed to get himself the caught behind a Labuschagne with De Silva up to the stumps. He was bowling 130 in that one. I've actually got an update on my own cricket team's score as well. For anyone who is curious, they are playing a semi-final up against Pleasant Point. Currently, after 29 overs, they are 101 for 6, chasing a total of, where is it? Chasing 189. So they've got 11 overs to try and get 80 runs. And if they do that, they make it through to the final. I am not playing in that game as I am here. And also, that was a sharp De Silva catch, that one. Yeah, it was. Hit him, like, it's all about the positioning of the gloves, isn't it? And he just had it in the right spot, hits him in the fingers, kept it in the hands as well, which was nice work from De Silva. That's going to be the drinks break. West Indies, only the 2 wickets down in this session so far, and they were both the first kind of 15 minutes or so. A moment. Good luck to the boys, says Nate. The thing is, as well, like, if they end up getting to, or if they end up winning that game, I don't want to jinx them. I'll probably jinx them now, though. And also 80 runs in 11 overs with 6 down, exactly right. Up against the toughest side, who I don't believe have lost a game in this year. And we're a side that I've only played 1 game for them, but they haven't actually won a game this year. So to win a semi-final would be absolutely massive for them. Sounds like they're going all right. My cousin's actually opened the batting and he's still sitting there on 27 runs. Well, if he opened the batting, then he's been out there for quite a while, kind of about a one run and over at the moment. And also we have got their tough. Hopefully they get up, says Zach there. Mitchell Stark, like they're saying, he wasn't confident in the runner, but he's got 1 wicket for himself here. How are they in a semi-final without a win? Pretty much that's a very good question, Zach. I'm glad you picked up on that. Pretty much there are 4 teams in the competition. So even if you do lose all of your games throughout the season, pretty much 1st versus 4th, rock on. So that's how they have it. And then 2 versus 3 in the other semi-final match. And even if they lose this game, they still play up against the loser of that game. I'm going to be very careful not to pull the fingers here. But yeah, pretty much it's the loser of both of the games goes through to a 3rd and 4th place playoff game as well. So they'll be playing next week anyway. I might be playing there. Also, Wales says this, and then also, all right. Here's Zach. And then also, I still think Ganguly was the best ever Indian batsman. Don't tell Rajni your girlfriend's name, Hamish. I'll ask for her phone number, says Ruth. Yeah, that's true. And also, I would have to find a girlfriend first to be able to tell him. But yeah, it's interesting, Rajni. He's a bit of a character, I think is the best way of describing him. Thumbs up there. So 6:05 p.m. 55 minutes left of the session. And who is Rajni says, listen, he was here a little bit earlier on. He was also here last night. He was telling me he was going to try and have sexual encounters with my non-existent girlfriend and my mum. But then he also said that my mum was his mum. So I accused him of incest, and then he kind of got sad. Nathan Lyon now trying to break this massive partnership. Oh, says Nizen, yeah. 10 overs to go, 81 or 85 runs to go for them. I'm going to keep you guys updated on that game, even though some of you might not care about that matchup, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm here, says Rajni, although they're actually going better when I don't talk about it. So I feel like I've jinxed it now. Partnership of 60 runs of 77 balls. They've said. In the last test match, we saw Alzadi Joseph start to go after Nathan Lyon a little bit more. And also we get their high says this in GTR and also Rajni boy. Hey, once again, I think you were blocked. Says Mahak there. And I hope your team wins, says this in GTR. Oh, they're appealing for that one. I think it's going over the top of the stumps, though. Too much. Steve Smith was confident. Alex Carey goes down to him. And he actually mentioned a calm conversation is a good conversation. They're going upstairs. Okay. My first initial reaction was it's going over the top. It's going back on different accounts. Yeah. He is. That's all right. We enjoy the banter with Rajni. Right, they're going to be checking the front foot. It's fine. So now they have to look at this LBW shout. I think De Silva's pretty confident that this one's not going on to hit the stump. So unless it's hit something on the pitch and stayed a lot lower than I first anticipated. Nah. It's hit him on the thigh pad above the knee roll. He's quite deep in his crease, but I think that one's bouncing over the top. Unless something drastic happens and I'm completely wrong here, which I have been in the past. Oh, he's quite deep in the crease. They've got an argument for it. They need 3 reds, though. They do want to get it. Checking the Snicko. No bet on that one. They will now go to the ball tracking. This is a moment for De Silva. He might be a little bit more nervous than he was right at the start. It's looking kind of close, but my first reaction and my last reaction is still going to be it's going over the top. Unless something drastic happens here. Reverse the decision. De Silva's out. How's that ball stayed that low? It's well reviewed by the Aussies. This is why I'm not an umpire, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua De Silva, partnership broken. Wow. Great review from the Australians. Silva, 23 runs off 36, I believe it is. Oh. So deep in the crease, stuff said, is why he was dismissed. 38 balls he faced. Well, I'm very bad at umpiring, ladies and gentlemen. De Silva's gone. Australia get themselves another wicket, and it's Nathan Lyon. Is it a wicket? Well, it was. I was completely wrong. But I don't mind admitting it. I thought that was going over every day of the week. Definitely with the seam up the way it was, but nah. Because of how close he is to his stumps, he's only about this far away. So rather than the ball normally having to travel, I guess, about this, it was only about this that it had to go, which does make it a lot easier for it to not go over. And the actually you did. Oh, my guy, says Nate. And Gaz is a wizard. That's how the ball stayed low, says Zach. Everyone pats his bald head. They're going, make sure you don't get that burnt, son. And now, making his way out to the middle, Alzadi Joseph. What did I say, says Nissen? And there. You also said, is it a wicket? Wow. A little bit early on. That fly is going to annoy me. It's just flying around, as flies do. Actually, it's Roston Chase rather than Alzadi Joseph. He was almost, he got his 50 in the second innings. A relatively, I'm going to say it, a relatively selfish 50. He did expose a lot of his tail enders to the Australian bowling lineup because he didn't want to, even though they were a lot further down that order. Who won sets of pep? It is still going. 7 down at the moment for the West Indies. That cauliflower, says Fluffy there. And Pakistan one, says Jay. A next Indian account that comes in with a very long name, you have to pronounce it. Oh, I'll see how I go. Hopefully, it's a nice, easy one. Straight off the mark, Roston Chase gets the single. But now the West Indies, they're in a bit of trouble here because they've got 15 minutes till the end of the first session. I go out for a duck today, says Nissan GTR. It happens. At the end of the day, like, was it a first ball in Nissan or was it after a few balls? Do let me know. But it's just one of those ones that sometimes you get a 50, sometimes you get a duck. The best players in the world go out for 0, though, so I wouldn't feel bad about it. Look at Steve Smith. He gets a double 100 or gets a single 100 and then got a duck today. I got caught in the slip. At least you got a bit of an edge on it, I guess you could say, rather than a play and a miss. And did Australia win? Not quite. Still only day 3. They've got another 2 days to go. Might be English is his name. Oh, nicely played down the ground from Phillip. Moves up to 38. I love to see him get his 50. The night watchman, of all people, able to get themselves the half century, possibly. Do we just realize, actually, remember when I said De Silva would get 40 and he didn't score a single run after that and then went out? I'm jinxing everyone today. Nathan Lyon, he's got 2 wickets. I can see him getting 4. That will probably jinx him as well. What's your favourite breakfast, George? Like Nutella on anything, even Nutella omelette, says Roof. I would say favourite breakfast for me. Ooh. I actually, to an extent, I don't mind a good smoothie. Like, I have Wheat Bix for breakfast, but they're not great. Like, they're just, I eat them for the sake of eating them, having a bit of something in the stomach for the big day. But, like, if I had to pick what I want for breakfast, well, and I can, I'd just clarify that. I could have a smoothie if I wanted. It's just the effort of making it. But a nice sweet banana, peanut butter, some oats, maybe bit of milk if you want it slightly smoother. One moment. Pancakes are also very good, or a mixed grill. All day breakfast as well. They go all right. Hash browns, sausage, eggs. Very nice. Had some fun. If I am a girl, you come here to propose me, then how do you propose me? Just kidding, my friend and bro. Not taking seriously. Says shish. Okay. No worries. Yeah, that's so quite low. Nathan Lyon, I still feel it should have gone a little bit higher than the ball did, but the trajectory just looks weird with that ball. It kind of halfway through went down. How much did Chanderpaul make? He managed to get 47, then was run out in the first over of the day. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a yes-no, and he was dismissed. But 53.2 overs down at the moment. That was a brilliant partnership of 60 runs from those two, and single malt and a Winfield red for Bricky. There's Fluffy there. Sounds like a tough way to start the day, doesn't it? There's actually, I saw something when we were in Bali, not to do with Fluffy's comment, but it was like they made strawberry pancakes, and I never had them because I was just a basic. I had some toast, and I'll be good to go. That's uppish. In fact, that's very high from Philip. No one back there though. It's going to land safely. Yeah, like strawberry pancakes. They look all right. I'm not sure about. You can get like rose water pancakes, can't you? I don't think I'd eat those. Like strawberry or raspberry or something like that. Better than rose water. Well, I haven't tried rose water things. Ping pong pancakes in Bali. Nom. There's Fluffy there. And as I said, West Indies need to keep focused. No stupidity at dangerous balls. Just keep staying at the crease stuff. Literally just the very next ball gone after one. Found a gap though, so I guess works well for him just currently. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be back for more cricket in the future. This one, we've only got another 45 sessions or 45 seconds left of the session. That's up. Going to be dropping down just like the rain here. But luckily at Adelaide, there's no rain in the forecast until tomorrow. They take 2 runs. Oh, and it's almost with a half run out opportunity. Like they're saying, if the throw was better, that could have been half a chance there for the Australians. They've already had one run out today. And also, unless if you're married, Bali, says Jay. Yeah, it would have been close. If a better throw, theoretically, that ball's there now. Yeah, it could have been out. Could have been out. But wasn't the best throw from Michael Nissa, unfortunately. West Indies trailing by 342 runs. I have an interesting story about that, Jay, to an extent, because this is going to sound weird, but they love putting the male appendage on random items in terms of like the markets sculpture wise or like made out of wood. Like they'll make one out of wood and it will be the head of a turtle that's replaced by a penis. We didn't buy one in the end, but it's just a turtle shell and then a knob. And it's like, why do you do that? Like, what's the art form behind it? I don't understand art, and that made me even less knowledgeable when it came to art. And also, you can marry them. Here's Fluffy. Nicely played once again. 5 runs off the over, 169 for 7. Yeah, I see that everywhere. A big dongs everywhere, says Jay. Oh, a bit of mist being blown out there, out through Adelaide Oval. Players, they'll be feeling pretty hot out on the field, but the supporters, they'll be feeling the same way. Phillip, though, he's been aggressive in the way he's been batting. He's actually moved up to a total of 43 runs at the moment off 69 deliveries, accelerating the innings for the West Indies, keeping Australia in the field a bit longer. Strategic play from the West Indian bowler, as he knows that once he goes out, more than likely, relatively soon, he's going to have to be bowling in this heat. So the longer he can stay out there batting, you have to say the better. I haven't received any more updates on my game that has taken place at the moment for my cricket team. Last time they needed 85 runs off only the 10 overs. They'll have to start scoring a bit quicker. But it might be going all right, hopefully. And Oz, I got to pad up. Wish me luck. Says Fluffy. Wait, you're at your cricket game and you're currently, what number you're batting, Fluffy? Let us know. Hopefully you do end up going all right. That's commitment to the craft. Oh, nice bit of off spin from Nathan Lyon. Actually showed a bit of an insight of what that man says while he's out in the field. Does talk to Cameron Green a lot. Steve Smith, he's got that badge on the inside of his collar. I don't know what that badge is for. I'm sure it's symbolic, but it does look a bit like peanut butter has been smudged on the inside of his collar. As if he's had like a good old breakfast, but he was half asleep. So he's just gone, wipes it there, and then heads away. Oh, so don't forget your box. Says Jay, very true. We've seen already quite a few players in this series getting smacked in the box. Does hurt. That fly is back. As you can see, every once in a while it comes past. Feel like I want to try and smack it. Oh, where it's gone. Okay, so Pat Cummins, I should also mention, I just remembered from watching the build-up, we did see that Pat Cummins, he was bowling, which is a good sign. Feel bad for the Aussie bowlers. They didn't bowl out Night Watchman and tail ender. Bro, Aussies need some help. For you, my friend, advice Aussies how to take wickets. Line and length, I think, is the best way of describing it. Just get it outside of the off stump. Nathan Lyon's starting to find that as well. And how will they tell if people are doing it in hotels and houses in Bali is my question. Says Zach. It's a good question, Zach. I wouldn't know the story behind how they are able to work it out. And also, New Zealand, do they have a KFC ad where Uzi gets hit? No, don't believe so. We've got a KFC ad. What's our last one we've had? While there was a guy who was stuck in a fence. I don't know what our current KFC ads are, though. I know our McDonald's current ads, but not KFC. I'm trying to remember what I've seen. Would have been something to do with probably a burger of some sort. Or some chicken. Mainly what KFC have. And Chandapur, the leading run scorer for the West Indies at this stage. On 47 when he was dismissed. Scott Boland still charging in. 25 runs from him off 13 overs, left alone outside of off stump by Roston Chase. Probably does need a big innings with the bat here, Roston Chase, because I've said it the whole way through. You need a capable spinner. And KC is now the size of a quail. Yeah, there are some pretty small parts, aren't there? And Paul Rajni are looking for companionship. Don't give him your partner's numbers, says Roof. And also police are allocated to every house watching them 24/7, says Zach. Boland, he's actually going to be the second most used bowler for Australia. We know he's a workhorse. We saw that throughout the test matches last year. It's a nice delivery once again. Chase gets him behind it. So quite a few people on the embankment, just in the grass area, in the shade of the trees. A very good position to be watching the cricket from, because in the sun it would be absolutely boiling. Out of the sun, still very hot, but at least you've got a little bit of shade, a little bit of cloud cover. Just a very relaxed environment at Adelaide, I've noticed. I don't see a problem with that at all, says Zach. Bowl by bowler, we're going to take a single there. Roston Chase moves up to 2. I feel bad for Aussie bowlers. Oh no, I read that one, didn't I? But yeah, line and length outside of off stump. Just wait for the batsman to start to think that they've got you under wraps, and then just get that ball to either seam or swing away a little bit. Probably more seam after 55 overs. Try a short ball. At the end of the day, we've got 2 batsmen normally bat at 10 and about 7 or 8. So give them a short ball. See if Roston chases up for the challenge. Phillip at the moment need 56 off 6 overs now. What does that work out to be? That's about that, maybe 9 runs and over at the moment. So my cousin's still out there in the middle. 56 off 6 overs. That's quite a task. But they've actually, by the sounds of it, they're batting quite well. Someone went out on 42 runs. Left alone outside of our stump from Phillip again. And he will go after the ball when it's in the right place. 56 off 6 overs. That's quite a few. 56 off 36 balls they're going to require up against the side. They have the best bowling in the comp. And Phillip doing well. Was he the night watchman? Yeah, he was. And he's batted extremely well, to be fair to him. 43 runs off 75. Last night, I think he was 1 off about 18 deliveries and just kept on going. And yeah, just feel bad for our bowlers for them scoring 170, not that their bowlers who were bowling when they were at 500 runs. Says Zach, that's a good ball. Hit down the ground. Cut off nicely by Nessa. I have to say, he's not as strong in the field as he is in the bowling crease. Unfortunately, Michael Nessa. So they're just talking about the fact that it's going to be Rashid Khan versus Brian Lara in the nets. We'll see how we go. We may end up even doing a little bit of commentary for that, seeing as this is the only session we have been doing for today. Other than that, we've got the 7th coming up at about 8 something. I'll just have a quick look at the time. 8:07 will be when New Zealand play Kenya. Uppish doesn't quite carry to Usman Khawaja. They want the single. A direct hit. Oh, that's great work from Alex Carey. That might be another run out for the Windies here. Unfortunately, that might be the end of Phillip. Ironically, he was at the other end when Chandapal was run out, and now they've just had the role reversal, the switcheroo. I think Roston Chase, he just pretty much said no straight away. Usman Khawaja, though, he got enough on that to then deflect or direct it towards the man. Oh, that's gone. That's gone by a lot. And unfortunately, Anderson Phillip now dismissed for a run out. You can't afford that in T20 cricket. 1 run out is bad enough. Just ask Travis Head for the Aussies. But having 2 run outs in the same innings, that's very, very sad for him. 43 runs off 78 deliveries. We know he's going to be fired up when he's bowling now, though, because that would be a very, very annoying way to go. Is Big Curtly Ambrose commentating? I don't believe so. I think they've just got Brian Lara from the West Indies for the commentary. That's great work from Alex Carey, though. Diving forward. Steve Smith straight away said that was the wicket, and Zachy 8 down. Yes, says shish. And also, but we take 3 wickets today. And Anderson Phillip run out by Alex Carey. 43 runs off 78. I'm going to give him a clap. The night watchman doing what a night watchman should, staying out there. But then he one-upped it by getting himself 43 runs on the board alongside it. The second most runs we have seen. Roston Chase, he turns around early, just turned his back to him, said, "No, I'm not going. You can go back." And then Alex Carey does very well to dive at the stumps. If he had just run up and knocked them off, wouldn't have got there from Alex Carey. Yeah, Brian Lara versus Rashid Khan in the net at the lunch break. That's going to be intriguing because Brian Lara, you'd assume he's still got it. He said that he's not going to be going for some big swings. He's just going to be defensive in the way that he plays. But Rashid Khan, he'll be trying to tear it straight through the great Brian Lara, won't he? Alzari Joseph now makes his way to the middle. Thank you for commentary over here in Florida, says Capel Golding there. So what time are you looking at currently in Florida? Capel, do let me know. I'm always terrible with my American time zones. I normally get the hang of them, and then I forget them about 2 weeks later, and then I'm completely stumped. I know you guys are about 18 hours behind us, so there's a chance you're sitting at about 12 a.m. Are you at midnight currently, Capel? Somewhere around there? Your favourite team other than New Zealand? Says Shish. To be honest, this will be an interesting one for those ones who love a trans-Tasman rivalry. I'll probably go Australia. I think it's 12:26 there, says Zach. Run out for Anderson, Phillip. Be disappointed with that one. Roston Chase at the crease now sitting on 2 off 9 deliveries. That's close. That's very close. Okay, I think it was spinning too much for Nathan Lyon. Getting a really good revolution on that ball currently. Like this here, Roston Chase, because he was coming forward, maybe the bounce. Oh, yeah. Good turn from Nathan Lyon. 2 pitched up there. Roston Chase hits it down the ground. No, Hamish, you're human. Could have gone either way. Close to being not out, says Roof. And also, we've got there, never mind, the Buzzcocks. That's a Sex Pistols song. Don't underestimate the Palmies. English will be there, says Ruth. Joseph now at the crease. His first ball facing. Scraping away at the pitch. He did get himself around that 40 mark in the first innings. And what I do to work out US time is add time to ours. So as my Melbourne time zone, we're 16 hours ahead. I add 8 hours to work these out. There's Zach there. I think I'm relatively similar. It's normally the 18-hour mark. Oh, there's the appeal. It's given us out for Alzari Joseph. He's got to review this. He said no straight away. Right, last time I said it was too high. This one, I feel he's either got an inside edge or it's too high. He's a tall man, Alzari Joseph. Should I be concerned that I'm already riding Alzari Joseph into the batsmen who have lost their wicket? Just in case. Original decision is out. So this one has to be missing by quite a margin for Alzari Joseph here. And also, I see you would add 6 hours. And Kane Williamson captaincy is much impressive. Right. It's close to the bat. Doesn't get it on it, though. Hit the knee roll. Just above it. Okay. They're going to have to check this one for height. That's the only thing saving Alzari Joseph here. Do you think there's a part of me that just wants the West Indies to bat a bit longer? Which is why I am kind of saying I want this to be not out. There's no edge on it. There's a lot of noise, but nothing that says, nah, no noise. Okay, ball tracking when ready. I think this is going to be umpire's call for height. Bounces. No, it's still 3 reds. Tell you what. She's not bouncing as much as I thought it was. Alzari Joseph now going to be dismissed. Well done. Once again from the Australians. It's another pat on there from Scotty Boland. It's going to be 9 wickets down now. Nathan Lyon moves up to 3 or 46. 9 down, says Shish. And also, well, not really Melbourne. 3 hours west of Melbourne, says Zach. And yeah. Golden duck. Alzari Joseph. Now, if that doesn't fire him up as well in the bowling department, I don't know what would for the West Indies. It's going to be Minley. Now, this is the first time we've seen Minley since he went off after only bowling 2 overs. Currently 340 runs ahead. The Australians find themselves. Anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've still got another 30 minutes left of the session, and during the break, they will be having Brian Lara facing off against none other than Rashid Khan of the Adelaide Strikers, with the BBL just around the corner. Colin loves tapping Nathan Lyon on the skull when he gets 178 all out. It's the call from Nov Mum there. Although Mindley, we haven't really seen a huge amount of his batting. It could be even lower than that, perhaps. Aquinio Mindley out to take to the crease, facing up against Nathan Lyon. Got the arm guard on. He knows he might get some short stuff. We haven't seen him bat because of that injury. Okay. I wouldn't think he'll be doing a huge amount of running here. You're from Victoria. I'm from New South Wales. Says Shish there. End of the Nathan Lyon over. 171 for 9. See, for me, Roston Chase here is the type of guy to get a single on the first ball of this next over. A quick single, that is. Make Mindley have to run extremely hard on his leg that's injured and then expose him to 5 balls. Just seems like that's the type of player Roston Chase is. And I hope that I'm slightly wrong in that analogy, but it just seems to be what we've seen from him in this West Indies Australia series so far. Mitchell Starkey was celebrating with his side. Quite a cool angle. We actually see through Nathan Lyon's glasses. You can see the team huddle. He realized they had a soccer tournament since Wednesday and my team got 3rd place. Awesome stuff, Ollie. Oh, I've got another update. Jacob is out, which is my cousin. Had a great innings. So he's out with 4 overs to go. They haven't said how many runs they need to be able to win it. I would assume it's still about maybe 35, 40. And also winners the New Zealand Black Caps playing next. They are going to be playing on the 27th of December, and that is up against Pakistan. Nicely done once again. Okay, good job. Here's Nissan GTR. Just showing the LBW again for Nathan Lyon. Oh, okay, so they're actually saying that they may consider bowling at the West Indies tonight. Maybe. But I would think that with the heat, it's a tricky one to make the decision because Mitchell Stark's only bowled 3 overs so far here. So he might actually end up bowling again today if they do enforce that follow-on. It's very hard to tell what the Australians are thinking. I haven't seen David Warner doing any warm-ups, but normally when this last wicket falls, that will be when we decide or we see what Australia's next game plan is. Whether it is to have Warner and Kawhi to go out there, have a bit of a hit under the heat. Because it's currently 34 degrees at the ground, or 33.1, I think, was the last registered temperature that they showed us. They won't want to be out there for too long if that's the kind of heat they've got to try and deal with. And like I said, with so much time left, Australia can afford to have a bat here if they want to. Quick turnaround. Don't want to tire out your bowlers. That's going to be nicely worked to the leg side by Roston Chase. So that will mean 3 now for Mindley. Face off against Scotty Boland, who's yet to get himself a wicket. Be disappointed because when you look at what he did in Melbourne, they would have absolutely loved to have him continue it. Kiwis, can Kiwis like kangaroos? I love kangaroos, but I never come to New Zealand, so I don't see any Kiwi birds. Do you love Kiwi birds and do you love kangaroos? Is Shish's answer there. Well, that's a brilliant question, Shish. First of all, can Kiwis like kangaroos? Absolutely. I love kangaroos. It's just, that is good news. You've never been to New Zealand, so you don't see any Kiwi birds. I actually haven't seen one either. I actually no, maybe that's a lie. I think we might have seen one on a dock trip when we were a lot younger at primary school. And do you love Kiwi birds? Yeah, they're all right. George, he has a strong opinion of Kiwi birds. He says they're a bit useless because they take up a lot of tax money, but they can't actually do anything. And then they just chill. Do you like kangaroos? I don't mind them. We got wallabies around these parts. Normally they get shot, unfortunately, because they're a pest. They're considered. But kangaroos a bit different. Those big boys, they hit the roids, don't they? And also, we will bet again. West Indies would have 2.5 days to get 340 if we did. Although they would then be able to bet again at the end of Australia if they needed to. although it would expose them to a day 5 surface. Finley currently still at the crease, 58 overs almost down here for the Australians. Bowling attack, so they haven't had a huge amount of stress on the body yet. 139 currently they trail by. So Steve Smith in his head, he'll be doing the maths, counting it on the fingers, going, "Yep, we want a certain total before we send them back in if we are going to declare or if we are going to take our batting innings rather than enforcing that follow on. If we're going to enforce the follow on, who's going to be bowling those next overs? That's off the edge, it's chipped up, no one's there though. And Minley, I believe he'll be able to take the single. That's actually good news for Minley, the fact that he's able to run between the wickets a little bit here, because it does mean that maybe they've got an extra bowling option for the Windies. And Aussies bat again, we declared after 150 plus. There's Shish. Just showing some of that lethal bowling by Nathan Lyon and force the follow on, says Jay. It's it's the right decision, I think, but that's why they may not do it, if that makes sense, because we've seen some questionable decisions from Australia over the last 12 months in terms of when to go with the follow on, when not to use it, when to declare and when not to. Like Nathan Lyon, at the end of the day, he can do another 10, 20 overs for you throughout today if you need him to. Then alongside that, you've still got your part-timers. You've got Marnus Labuschagne, Travis Heat could have a bowl. You've got plenty of bowling options if you want to rest your quicks, which they already kind of have with Mitchell Stark only bowling the 3 overs. So I think the follow-on's the better option. I reckon we just play some T20 for 10 overs or so, although you don't want to throw away your innings. That's the other thing Australia will look at, because if they do T20 for 10 overs and then from there they end up getting an extra 100 on the board, and then the West Indies really dig in for their last innings and they manage to somehow miraculously chase it down, you'd wonder. Oh, okay. They've actually enforced the follow-on once before Adelaide, but they've only ever done it 3 times, I believe they've just said, this Australian side. 1 session in the field last night and 1 session today. Should be able to get through another 2 sessions with their bowlers, says Jay. Exactly right. Like, these guys, half of them didn't bowl in that first test match. You're looking at Nessa, looking at Boland. Nathan Lyons only bowled 14 overs. He bowled about 40 in that first match, and he just didn't really complain about it. India's batting first, says Ryan. 440 would be hard to chase, says Zach. And also, we're going to Bangladesh win the toss. Then, what will we do? Says Shish. And yeah, and also no harm in that, says it was Zach. And also, toss update in Bangladesh won and decided to bowl first. No run taken. Austin Chase says no thank you. I much prefer being at the non-striker's end watching you struggle rather than me having to struggle. Showing Nathan Lyon's pitch map. It's been right on the money. He can't get a 5. I said he was going to get 4 wickets though. So I could be right in that regard. I may not have jinxed him. Kiwi, are you not Asian? I'll let you guess that one, Ryan. But no, I'm not. It's going to be the end of the over. 59 overs down, and it is 9 for 173. So yeah, they've still got options. They've also, when we think about it a little bit, they've been bowling Boland, they've been bowling Nessa, but not too recently. They've still got Cameron Green, who might end up opening the bowling bats for the Australians. That could be quite a cool combination. Stark and Cameron Green. Got 22 minutes till the lunch break. So either way, you're getting about a 40-minute break, like with that innings changeover plus that little bit of extra time. Australia should enforce the follow-on, but they may not. Ishan and Kuldeep, they have India. Here's Ryan there. Like all the children trying to get the signatures of the Aussie players. They might not have too much longer to get those. With Roston Jace at the middle. Good in, swing in ball. Tries to go down the ground. They won't take the single. Just hit it a bit too well, I think, Roston Chase. And Minley says no. And they should bet, I think, says Nissan GTR fan. So if they do bat, how many runs do you think they should bat for, Nissan? Or how many overs do you think they should bat for? I'm not Asian. My father belonged to India, but I don't born in Asia. I born in Aussies. Says Shish. Oh, okay. So the Aussie commentators, are saying they're going to have Warner and Kawaja go out there, smack it around, and then have the big quicks bowling tonight. It's just wide of the man. Michael Nessa goes round, cuts it off nicely. Thinks about firing it in, decides against it, saving the arm. We haven't seen Warner shadow batting, which is normally something we do see. Kawaja doesn't look like he's really too worried about batting here either, but I think that's just because Kawaja is a very chilled out individual. 70 to 150 runs as Nissan GTR there. Kawaja. So I guess that would be one side of it that you could think about is the fact that it's probably close to the hottest part of the day or just past the hottest part of the day. So they'll want to be batting in the hottest stages and then bowling in the cool conditions tonight, even though cool will still be about 30 degrees, maybe down to about 25. Oh, would have been close for Warner, that ball. And also, what do you think? Can we win this easily, says Shish? Yeah, at the moment. Australia are well and truly in the box seat. The ball's pretty much just in their court of do they want to be bowling again? Do they want to bat first and then have a bowl later on? Do they want to bat for a day and a half just for fun? They won't do that. They shouldn't do that as well, I should mention. They did that and they lost or they drew. Sorry, that would be not good news for skipper Steve Smith. Uh, okay, they're moving the field a little bit here. Mike Cussey's not too happy with it at the moment because they're trying to keep Roston Chase on strike. Just kind of just go about business, don't you? It depends what Smith does, says Zach. And what do you think? Can we win this easily? Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, the West Indies, don't get me wrong, they can try and put up a fight in their second batting innings, try and improve from the first, but it's just a big mountain to climb at the moment. A Hamishi, that's a new one, isn't it? Haven't had that one before. Almost 60 overs down. So Australia, somehow, if the West Indies build a large partnership here and they're still there at 80 overs, that's when the new ball can be taken. But we could see a new ball relatively soon for the Australians in their hands if they do decide to have another bowl. Bit of cloud cover every once in a while. Looks like it's passing over in Adelaide. One ball left of the over. Well bowled by Boland. And that will be the end of it. 138 Ks on that one. 174 on the board for the West Indies. And they are currently 9 down. But anyone who's new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're back with more cricket tomorrow. We will be doing the first session of tomorrow. We will be missing the rest of today. That is due to the Sevens live streams that we've got coming up just around the corner. But there's a chance, depending on what Australia decide on, that we may see a result by the end of today. Right. Nathan Lyon back in the bowling attack. Oh, or is it going to be Travis Head? So Travis Head just warming up a little bit. I'd like to see him bowl. He's actually picked up quite a few crucial wickets throughout these test matches. You've seen Jason Holder dismissed by him. He broke that big partnership between Alzadi, Joseph and Chase a little while ago. That was in the second innings of this first test match. Now Roston Chase on strike to Nathan Lyon. What do the West Indies do here? Do they bat time? Or do you try and get some runs on the board before you're all out? Apparently, they've got another 17 minutes till the lunch break. Couple men on the leg side, still the bat pad. And also David Warner at leg slip. Nicely fielded there. And also, nice Gary, says Elon. Yeah, he's been bowling well. 3 wickets already for Nathan Lyon. Of his 15 overs, he's gone for 3 and over. A little bit expensive to an extent, but he has had a lot of very good attacking plays at the stumps, which is the difference between the way that he's bowled and Roston Chase did in the first innings. Getting him playing on the front foot. Good length. Roston Chase still looking relatively calm. At the moment, got the same hairstyle as Nathan Lyon. They go to the same barber. Now, 5 runs off 22 deliveries currently. It's a good ball. It was almost uppish from Roston Chase, but he whips it away to the leg side. Down to Michael Nessa. They'll take the single. Now Midley or Mindley, sorry, will have the strike for the last two of the over. This is a decent partnership, though, to an extent. They've had about, I'd say, 5 overs that they've been out there together, slowly just getting their way through a few more deliveries. And Jason really has a big chase on his hands. Certainly does. The wider ball. Minley just plays the line as if it was going to come back in. And let's make a deal, Elon. If Australia wins, give me 10% shares in Tesla. Jeez, that's a deal and a half, isn't it? Wow, Zach. Says Nissan. 3 men deep on the onside. Also, that bat pad. There's a massive gap out through cover if Minley wants it. He plays it well, though. That'll be the end of the over. And it is 175 for 9. See the sweat coming out of the head of Nathan Lyon. Cam Green about to get himself a bit of a bowl. Down breeze the big man. Might bowl a little bit of short stuff perhaps at Roston Chase. See if they can buy this last wicket for the Australians. Although it was a decent length ball that got him his first wicket of the day. Marnus has the ball in hand as well. He wouldn't mind getting a bit of a chance. And 10% is a big, big payday. It is. I mean, I'd take 1% to be fair, Elon, if you put in percentages out there. That would be enough to actually get me licensing to show the cricket on the channel. I feel like that would be quite cool in a way, but it would be very expensive. They'd have to have like either a connection with one of the companies that actually show the game to try and convince them that it's a good idea, or Aoi money. That's a nice block from Chase. Nisa decides against bending down to get that one. He's not the best in the field, Michael Nisa, I think is one thing I'm noticing, unfortunately, for him. I haven't had any more updates from the cricket either, so they had 4 overs left. I'm not sure what it's sitting at now, but I'd assume they're getting relatively close to the end of the match. Travis Head signing a few more. Throws the PM back into the crowd. Cam Green. It's a bit of tension between him and Travis Head at the moment. Travis Head blames him for not getting through for the 2 and Travis Head's dismissal. But they looked at the footage, they listened to the calling, and it was a mutual run out. And also we have got there, as Marnus been an annoying fly in the field as usual. He's pretty quick. He had a little bit of a misfield. We haven't seen him since then, Marnus, but he'll still be fired up. Yeah, 1% share in Teslas. I don't think you'd be streaming 3 a.m. rugby 7s, put it that way. The thing is, though, I think I still would be. It sounds weird to say, but I've always said, like, the channel's never been about making money. It's always been about just loving doing these live streams, getting to talk to you guys while watching sport. So even if my pockets were very nicely lined, I'd still be watching those 7s at 3 a.m. And I'll probably still be doing the streams alongside it because I just love doing it. Chase 6 of 26 balls. Moment Cam Green once again. Yeah, that's another low ball, or no ball, I should say. I wonder how Fluffy is batting. We haven't heard from him yet, so hopefully relatively well. Probably put in a few on the board. We're working 1 hour season finale. It was very slow at starting it, and in the end was shooting in more die than last season. And fair enough, says Zach. That's going to be worked away nicely by Roston Chase. Gets over the top of the bounce, fielded in the deep by Gaza. Throws it back in. Still putting together a decent partnership, and I am lovely work, brother, says Chris Brown. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're excited for the BBL just around the corner. Although I will mention, Zach, if we did have a lot more funding, we would have an awesome setup. I'm talking like a studio style setup, animations on the screen, all sorts. Looking extra professional. Like at the moment, like this is nice, don't get me wrong. They're going across the bottom, but like we would have little things coming up where the ball was being bowled, scoreboard down the bottom looking all professional. Green screen probably right across the wall so that we can have a massive setup. The cricket net. Oh, have a cricket net. That's the dream, innit? Cameron Green, that's a better ball. No, not quite. A little bit too straight from. Swings away, goes to 4. And also, it'll be interesting, the England-Pakistan game. Very good game that year. It seems like it's progressed pretty quickly. The moment Mohammed has said, yeah, I'm from India and you probably have a full studio, says Zach. And so is this the West Indies team not that great, or is Australia just too good I think it's a little bit of both. Mangoes for days, exactly right. We would have a bowl of mangoes because at the moment, I mean, to even get a few of them, like they're 6.50 each. That's a quite a hefty fee in it. But we'd have mangoes. We'd have a big sign that says mango. Maybe not. I would love. This isn't all. Is this an idea that someone will try and steal? Probably not. But I'd love to have like a set of wickets on the wall in the back of the studio. How every time there's a wicket, a button's pressed and they like light up and the bails like pop off and then somehow go back on. I don't know how you do it, but that would be pretty awesome to be able to have like a little button that you press and then the bails just blow off the top of some stumps that light up. That's probably a few $1,000 venture, that one. I go get I gotta go on the black market for mangoes in New Zealand. Yeah, well, the Countdown have them at the moment, but they're just $6.50. We got a it's a big one though. It's about that big, the mango that we got. So at least we got a little bit of value. And got to start taking risks and hitting sixes now, says Ruth. Yeah, they want to get to 200 here, the West Indies, I would say minimum. 62 overs down now, 181 for nine. Already lost a total of 5 wickets in this session, including 2 runouts, which just, in a way, just isn't good enough for the West Indies. 186 all out, says Nov Mum for the prediction. And also, and you had a ball machine, full kit and bat, so you can face deliveries at lunch and dinner breaks. That would be quite fun. Although I'll be a sweaty mess by the time we get into the next session. Play. Good footwork from Chase to get across to it. I miss Chris Martin's batting severely, says Elon there. It was always entertaining to watch because you never knew whether or not the man was actually going to get anywhere near the ball or whether he was just going to be missing it majorly. They used to come out with those kind of space astronaut pads that didn't look like they had any flex in the knees. Obviously, it's done well to cut that down to just the one. 3 balls remaining of the Nathan Lyon over and only 8 minutes remaining of this session. There we go. At the moment, they are just showing Brian Lara getting padded up. Mark Howard, he is going to be probably commentating while Brian Lara faces Rashid Khan. There he is. He's already been warming up. This is going to be an interesting battle. And also, I miss Chris Martin's batting. I read that one. Didn't know. Oh, what a ball that is from Nathan Lyon. The thing is, Brian Lara, he's not going to wear a helmet to Rashid Khan by the looks of it, which is risky because, like, that's just that confidence, though. I really hope he doesn't top edge one into his face because that would be a sad way to end that segment. How do you like the season finale? Then last one, says Brandon. It's close. Well, everyone always loves a bit of drama, don't they, Brandon? Whatever happened to Corey Anderson? I believe injuries kind of kept him out of the New Zealand side for a little bit, but now he's been playing in England in county cricket, maybe, if I'm not wrong, or he has been playing in the domestic New Zealand competition every once in a while. Also, I believe, nicely played by Minley. And behind it, end of the over. Kia ora, Cuzzy. There's Nuzzy Williams. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. At the moment, the West Indies, they are surviving these last 2. They don't want to be going into the next session with all of the wickets down. But Rashid Khan just warming up. Well, that cameraman almost got hit by the ball. Lucky Khan isn't a pace bowler, true. But Brian Lara, he's mic'd up. This is actually going to be quite a cool watch. I think we're actually going to be watching this while doing the commentary, ladies and gentlemen, for it because we're going to learn a lot. I'll probably end up just listening to them, and then once it's over, I'll probably end up going back and watching it again. My mum might be quite keen on joining me for that. I'll knock on the wall. Go old school. You ready? There we go. Knock on the wall. Wait for it. Hello, Mum. How do you do?
What do you want?
Well, we're 6 minutes away from the lunch break. During the lunch break, Brian Lara will be facing Rashid Khan in the nets. Would you like to watch? Or do you want to pull up a chair?
Show me a couple minutes.
Alrighty. She will be joining me to watch Rashid Khan up against Brian Lara, ladies and gentlemen. It seemed like something she would be quite keen on viewing. Didn't want her to miss it. That will be in the first break of the day, 10 to 15 minutes time. and that one will be taking place. But Australia need to clean up this last wicket, or else they'll be annoyed because they'll have to wait 40 minutes to get one more, and then they've got that 10 minutes innings changeover. That's off the edge. Oh, Warner's dropped it. Warner's put it down. He's disappointed, the man with the kookaburra wide brim hat on and the mustache. He hasn't taken it. That was the chance. Oh, I'm going to watch it live now, says Nissan GTR. Oh, Cam Green. The line lures in. Roston Chase gets the massive edge and Warner puts it down. And tough catch, says Zach. Oh, Mark Waugh's called it a sitter. And I was out of Brazil, not shut that game out. Fair play to Croatia. Still had to go and score the goal under the most intensest of pressures than penalties to Croatia. Cold mofo, says Elon. Yeah, both games go on a penalty shootout in the FIFA World Cup. 3 balls left of the over, and then I believe we'll get through. Who's at the other end? Nathan Lyon. I think we'll get through two more overs if we're lucky. Only 4 minutes left though. No, they're not going to get through 2 more, I don't think. Just looking at how long it took David Warner just through the hands. Be disappointed to not be able to grab that one now. Nicely bowled by Cam Green. You know, them through at 135k, some pretty handy speed. So Mark Waugh is saying that's a regulation catch. I wouldn't say an overhand grab is exactly a sitter, says Zach. Yeah, or overhead grab. Yeah, Mark Waugh's really ripping into him, saying he should have been able to get it. Whereabouts is your chair, Mumsy? We'll get you up. No, it's a nice squeeze. And we'll also have to grab that splitter from the table. Yeah. And also, not if Warner keeps dropping catches, they want to get to the break ASAP to replace him. He just dropped one, yeah. Go like this, go like this, and we'll go like that. And that's where'd that go? That's plugged in. This is more I like. And we'll put you.
When are you going to tidy up?
Some stage, yeah. I'm a bit busy. I'll move this to here. We'll give you that one. You got a beer in hand again.
Yeah, been playing bowls.
Thank you, trucking.
Cheers, mate.
Well, you're very see-through. Like not literally, don't panic. But whoa, you're like, right, how are we gonna fix this? Maybe don't have that there.
Yeah, just
We'll go.
oh, cool.
We'll go about there. That
Oh,
should be
that's
better. Yeah, we've got
How'd
that
you do
little
that?
what?
How'd you do that?
Just with the fade. So there's going to be a bit of a weirdness behind me, but that's all right.
Mhm.
So Brian Lara, he's going to be in the nets without a helmet on
How's it go?
to Rashid Khan. Oh, I see done.
Last time they did that, it was a bit dodgy, wasn't it, with Brett Lee?
Oh, that was Brett Lee and a news reporter.
Yeah.
This is a bit different. Brian Lara is not exactly a news
mug.
reporter. Yeah, he can bat. Although he's saying that he's going to be quite defensive. They may throw stuff on the field as they enter the sheds. Here's Elon. Nicely played once again.
9 for 186.
And this partnership's been working very nicely for the West Indies. 3 balls left. And then they might have to go back out there to clean up this last wicket.
So Aussie won't bat again, will they?
It's a tricky one. I
It's
believe
only 64 overs.
that's the decision that a lot of people think it's going to be, that Australia go back in, but I think they'll go for the follow-on. They haven't really used Mitchell Stark. He's only bowled 3 overs for
Yeah.
today.
How many's the other Bolland and all them bowled?
Probably about maybe 6 or 7. So not a huge amount.
No, so they're not. Lyons is the only one that's bowled a few.
And even he's down in
17.
numbers.
They have to make them follow on, surely.
Maybe, yeah. Marnus is one-man batting partnership all by himself, says Elon. And also, yeah, Heineken's, here's Aroha from Auckland. Love this positive channel And how close your whānau are. Positive, says Nuzzy Williams. And also, is Australia winning? Yeah. Done pretty well. That's the end of the over. Oh, I think they'll squeeze in one more over.
Right.
Just. By half a smidgen. Yep, Cam Green's got one more. Did you win your bowls?
Mm.
Oh, no.
Won a raffle, though.
Did you? What'd you win?
Meat pack.
Oh. You're having a barbecue.
Well, the guy was giving me a hard time too. He said, "Oh, you're not going to win this," but a Waimate dude.
Bit of an interesting one for a raffle
I know.
approach.
Yeah.
Was he selling tickets?
Yeah. There's a story behind it though, because we played them last week and we were talking them, and he wasn't talking, and then he started winning. So of course he started yapping, and it was his club that we went to today. So he said, "Oh, I'll buy a raffle," and I said, "You know where I am though, because we might not be here when it's drawn." And he said, "Yep, Waimate, I'll give it to so and so." I said, "Yep." So I got these raffles, and then 2 had been pulled out, and then one of the Waimate guys got asked to pull a number out, and I said, "Pick me, pick my number, pick my number." And he picked it, number 15.
Okay.
My
So you fixed it. You fixed a raffle for a meat pack.
It was telepathy.
Okay.
It was so funny though, because the guy said, "Oh, don't. Everyone's going to win this except for Donna." And I was thinking, why pick on me?
Because you're a woman. And he's a wanker.
He was.
But also more move Warner to behind the keeper is probably the safest bet, says Elon. And Howard's back Cummins bowling going. He hasn't been bowling today. Or in this test match, he wasn't actually a part of it. So the team up against Pleasant Point got 156 in the chase when they were chasing down 189.
Oh, that's
So
not
a decent
bad,
effort, yeah.
So where do they play next week?
Not sure. Depends on the result of the other matchup.
So you haven't got any next week?
We've got the cricket, South Africa versus Australia.
So you're playing cricket?
Not sure. Not sure yet.
I'll come and watch.
No, we'll do a vlog.
We'll do a vlog from the Amy's going out to bed. Oh, maybe she's coming back.
It's about how we'll go to, isn't it?
No, that'll be about 3 hours later.
186 on the board currently. I believe that's how many Nov Mum said they'd have when they went out. That's a big shot from Roston Chase. Just flicks it off his hip. There was actually a fielder out there. But it's going to be the 6 runs. Moving up to 192. Nice shot from Roston Chase. Near the end of the day.
Nov Mum's back.
She was a bit earlier on, yes. Cam Green. Tell you what, it's rough because Warner, if he had taken that catch, they wouldn't have had to worry about these shots. It's a good catch from the man in the field.
He didn't even look at that. Oh,
safe as houses.
Yeah, looked easy.
Got the belly hanging out as well.
Yeah, you shoot up.
Happy to be there.
Obviously, Tommy's a bit bigger than normal.
Field's better than Michael Nisa. Cam Green now.
Oh,
hit to the leg side again.
Do it again.
That's the one taken. Mitchell Stark with a good rocket arm in.
He's saying. Yeah, even Cam Green's only done 5.5.
That guy thought he had it.
Why was he falling over?
One ball left. They actually had him mic'd up yesterday. It was quite interesting listening to the insight from Nathan Lyon because Cam Green, he's been down in confidence. This won't be helping.
No.
But Travis here blames Cameron Green for his run out when he was 177.
He'll never let him live that down.
No, but Nathan Lyon was just going over to Cam Green saying, "You all right, mate?" It's a good one. It's in the air. It's another drop catch. Or was it? It was a tough chance. Going to race to the boundary. Cameron Green creating chances. Labuschagne. I think he got a hand to this.
Yeah, he did.
Wasn't able to take it. That will be the end of the over. 9 for 197. I believe that's going to be the tea break now, but Mindley off the outside edge. Would have been a tough one. Yeah. Just wide of Marnus. The break delayed. Play continues as West Indies are 9 wicket down. Okay, there we go. We're going to have a little bit more.
Oh, so I'm not going to see.
You will at some stage, just not quite right now. Oh, they're only sitting 9 down here for the West Indies. They've got 1 wicket in hand. Once they lose that, I believe that's the thing. Brian Lara will be sitting there waiting, won't he? He'll be watching Rashid Khan bowl. I wonder what approach Rashid Khan takes to this. Because does he go after Brian Lara with some really good deliveries? Or do you bowl it outside of off stump and make the great Brian Lara look better?
I don't know. No, these guys are pretty competitive.
Mm.
And Rashid Khan's still playing competitive cricket, isn't he?
Mm. We're playing for the Adelaide Strikers in the BBL this year.
Should be good.
Wait,
when's it?
Tuesday, isn't it?
Tuesday.
Stars versus Thunder. Mum's it, how are you?
I'm good, is that what this is? How are you? Yeah.
Very hip lingo, isn't it? Apparently, West Indies, 314 runs. They're saying that Australia are going to have a bat, the commentators, that is anyway. Predicting that, Nathan Lyon. Now that's a shot from Roston Chase. No one down there. 2 bounces and 4 runs. He's a good batsman, Roston Chase.
I'll be happy with that shot.
I was like, lol. And Mumsy, I'm fine there. And Mork and Mindley. There's Fluffy.
I think it's supposed to be. Mork and Lindy.
Well, I think he's using a play on the batsman's name.
Oh, okay. Well, there used to be a program called Mork and Mindy.
Was I born when that was going on?
Nah. No, that was Robin Williams and James.
Quite a fan of the song Angels. bit of banter there in it, eh? You know.
No one understands.
3 balls left of the Nathan Lyon over.
It's December, Hamish.
Oh, he's tried to hit that one hard, but he's actually hit it straight into his own leg. That's going to be another 4 runs for Roston Chase. Yes. And it makes you wonder why he normally gives the tail enders more of the strike. Because he does. He gets a single first ball, or he did in the first test match. Gets a single and exposes the tail.
Where does he bat?
8.
8. It's not a bad shot. I'm all right.
Good batsman. I think West Indies might lose. I'm not sure why. Says Gareth. Probably a decent prediction there. Gareth? I was a Mumsy. I'm fine there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Sometimes if he thinks you may not have, he'll put it again just in case. Oh, the reverse sweep. The risky attempt. Going to be pitching outside leg from reversing. Steve Smith's happy about something. Thought it was off the pad, or thought it was off the arm. Lara will be wrapped. He has to stand out in the sun another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Plenty of refreshments.
34
degrees Celsius.
34?
Yep.
It's only about 24 until. That was bad.
Mum's there. There's Fluffy there. In the over.
I've caught on to what you called me, haven't I?
All right, Brian's in the shade. Going to be chatting to Rashid Khan. He's got a lot of unique, I think he's got about 13 different grips for the way that he bowls. Got large hands, Rashid Khan, doesn't he?
He seems to, yeah.
The man's fingers just don't stop growing.
Were you watching the BBL when Shane Warne was commentating while he was bowling to old McCullum?
Yeah, and he was talking about how he's going to get him, and he got him.
He got him. Yeah, that was awesome. That's why it's quiet. Yeah.
Right, Rashid Khan, he said he's going to see what type of approach that we're going to see from Brian Lara, and depending on what approach he takes, that's how Rashid Khan's going to bowl.
It was always interesting listening to Greg Maxwell. Glenn. Greg. Where would I get Greg from?
I don't know. Who's Greg?
I don't know.
He's in the Wiggles.
Sure,
that's not why you're thinking of him, though.
No. As soon as I said Greg, I thought, why did I say Greg?
Who is Greg?
I don't know.
Do you let us know the first Greg that comes to mind, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat? Hamish, what do you think? Take the last wicket. I think Mitchell Starc knocked down Minley with a Yorker. So it's just there. But yeah, it seems to be, now that Mitchell Starc's bowling, that tells me Australia are batting. The fact that he wasn't bowling up till this point told me that there was a chance that Australia may take the follow-on, and put it out there for the West Indies. But now that Stark's back in the bowling attack, I think it's going to be some more batting from the Aussies. Mitchell Stark, 3 slips. Good Yorker. Well played by the tail end of Minley there. Not an easy ball.
No.
Greg Oden. You know, Oden. Greg Oden, no. Greg Somerville. Rugby.
Greg, who's the better? Blewett.
Blewett. Greg Blewett.
He's an Australian better.
Is he?
Greg Blewett.
Greg Blewett. You got to say it with the Aussie accent, don't you?
Mm.
And at least I lasted exactly 4 more balls than Joseph today. Oh, okay. Decent batting. He went out to bat and he was chatting in the chat beforehand. So you lasted 4 more balls than Joseph, which means you faced 5 deliveries. Did you get a single? Manage a single, Fluffy? We do love a single, don't we?
Yeah.
I'm single.
Oh, really?
That
was the run-outs.
They've had 2 run-outs today.
Oh, that's shocking.
Yes, really.
Why would you be going for quick singles?
His choice. The Windies currently 7:11 the time that we're sitting at. I'd have to hope that the session doesn't go too much longer. We've got a New Zealand versus Kenya 7 stream at 8:05.
Oh, you'll be right. So you're not doing the second half of the cricket?
No. Do you want to do it? No. Off the edge. Oh, Alex Carey's now dropped the ball. Australia just can't get this last wicket. That is about 3 chances. Warner's laughing at him. Alex Carey's trying not to find the funny side, but with Warner just cackling next to you.
I mean, they're 306 runs still ahead, so of course you're going to laugh.
Hamish, why you show teeth? Well, they're that big, mate, that they can kind of just stick out of anywhere. See me with a mouth guard on, straight out the middle. No, not literally, is it? I've worn a mouth guard for a while. No. If you think shish is interesting, you should have seen earlier on when we had that other fellow whose name I've forgotten. I was like, come on, Gaza. Says Gareth, and he has the glove. Still can't catch that, says Zach. Just Stark. Whoa, what a shot. That is from Minley, the wrist flick for 6 runs. That is regulation, that one, says Zach. Yeah, Mitchell Stark, you know he'll be annoyed.
Oh, of course he will.
Because he's gone for 6 runs off the next ball. But that's a Warner drop catch. What else have we had? Warner drop catch. We've had the Labuschagne half chance. And then also now the Alex Carey drop catch as well. It seemed like it took so long for the ball to get to Alex Carey. He had plenty of time. Just didn't take it.
He went the wrong way to start with. He was wrong-footed.
Oh, well bowled by Stark. That will be the end of another over. 68 overs. This partnership has actually gone for about 80 balls now. Not quite, because they've only been out there for 79, but it's probably about a 70 ball partnership. Somewhere around there. Pretty decent. Partnership of 40 as well.
Ooh.
That'll be really annoying for Australia. Even though they've got this one summarised, they've already won it, I'd say, to an extent here, Aussie.
Yeah, so he goes the other way. And then he has to...
So he's probably done quite well to get going that way as well, in a way.
Oh, I could have... Did it...
Hit Warner in the shin, which is quite funny, isn't it?
See how it... It could
Yeah,
have been interesting.
hit Warner on the foot, didn't it?
Yeah, so...
Right, Nathan Lyon bowling again. Whipped to the leg side by Roston Chase. Another single taken. Minley dropped on 5 by Carey off start.
Did they take it, though? They didn't take it.
Did they not take one? No.
Why would you? The guy's flicking it to 6.
Guess Chase feels a bit more confident. Actually, no, that makes sense to me because Chase feels he can score more runs. That's a long run, though, for Nathan Lyon. Almost could have got 2 for that one. Annoying to see Warner laughing after he's done a woeful with the bat and cost us in the field, says Zach. He's having fun, isn't he? If you can't laugh at your mistakes...
Yeah, but would he been laughing if they were only 10 runs?
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at all.
But he's just having fun. He knows they've won the game. Steve Smith's even got a smile on his face to an extent. He got Warner actually threw a bit of grass at him earlier on in the slip corner. The league side this time, they will take it. But yeah, Warner, he found some grass. I think it was in his shoe. He just full on just biffed it, and Steve Smith, he looked confused. I think Warner's been on some drugs. No, you can't. He's already been done for cheating too, hasn't he? So he can't be doing anything to do with substances. You almost dropped your phone. That would have been disastrous.
That one would have bounced.
It's not the first thing we've seen dropped in this session, is it? Nathan Lyon now. Pitched up. Oh, Steve Smith likes it. Lyon doesn't. Lyon just going back to his mark. He doesn't think Smith's certain. He's going, why is no one else going up for this? Oh, he's gone for the review. That'll annoy Nathan Lyon.
Why? It's only 9 down.
Because Nathan Lyon had no interest. He was already going back to his mark. And we need to keep rested. Though we played 3 ranked in the team. Third rank, sorry, I should say. Shaw Smith says, Fluffy, did you manage to get any runs though, Fluffy, while you were batting? I am curious. Original decision not out. Nathan Lyon, no reaction whatsoever. He's just back at his mark waiting to bowl. See, he looks annoyed that they've gone upstairs for that.
But then they've still got how many?
Yeah, but it's just more time used up, isn't it? Well, I think there's a little bit of something on the back of the bat there. On the back edge. You watch this. Watch this very closely. I'll tell you exactly when I think there's a nick. There.
Yeah.
Maybe. 2 or 4 balls. Decent. I'd take 2 runs every day of the week.
Oh, is it not?
Oh, the hot spot. I don't know.
Oh.
It's close. If anything, it's a very, very light edge. Oh. Nah, it's a bit late.
Yeah.
It would have snicked a bit earlier on, solid.
Yeah,
Says Jay, right, that's going to be not out. Nathan Lyon knew that. Now he's just waiting. Get the ball in hand again. We're only 15 minutes away from our first live stream for the Sevens.
Here we are.
Should be, yeah. Well, if these two keep on batting for ages.
Yeah, but you only get half an hour, don't you?
I believe so.
Yeah. And
then we've got to watch Brian, don't we?
Yeah.
See Brian, Lara, head to head with Rashid Khan in the bowling. That is why my mum is here.
Yeah, you told me it was on shortly.
I did. I lied. Gotcha. Oh, big swing, no ding. Oh, the classic sledges from back in the day.
Oh, those sledges were horrible.
He's swinging like a rusty gate. Bats a donut, all edges, no middle.
You felt like saying, boys, shut up.
Shut up, you got bowled out for 30.
Yeah, what's the problem?
$4 jugs at the club tonight to celebrate my epic knock. $4 jugs sounds all right, doesn't it?
So where do you drink?
She keen. Nathan Lyon now, one last ball of the over.
Only
Nicely
$5
played.
for one of these down at the bowling club.
That's why we mess by them, don't we? Would you rather a Heineken or a mango? Be honest.
Honey.
I don't know if we can be related anymore.
Well, it depends. Is it breakfast or tea?
That's true. Lee Smith, he's going, what was it? What was that noise? I thought he hit it. So I'm going to go upstairs because I'm the captain. Should we just check, was the call from Steve Smith? Jack's a red cordial. There's Jay there. Might be a noise, I don't know. And Lee sitting on 11, Chase on 32. Santa, or XXXXXXXX. Sort of tastes like red cordial. Is XXXX VB?
Castlemaine, isn't it? For it.
XXXX tastes like bad. Just to a certain.
Castle something?
Castle Lager.
Is he Aussie? Fluffy.
He's got the New Zealand flag though.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
XXXXX gold.
Gold. Oh.
Joe Stark. Bowling again. Nicely played by Chase. Pushing it a little bit. 4X. Cheers, Jay.
It's thinking about it.
Oh no, it's doing what happened yesterday. The Wi-Fi is actually cut out. Kind of. Pretty much, this is what it did yesterday. We were still able to stream, but we won't actually be able to end this live stream until the Wi-Fi is back on. Fun fact.
You mean the Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi's gone. It's disappeared. Yeah, it's really weird because we can still watch the cricket, we can still stream, we can still read the chat, but you've got data, you see, so that helps you out. But if I go on, right, and go here, it won't actually load.
I was watching a movie before.
See what I mean? Doesn't actually load thumbnails. So we're in a weird, we're going to have to reset the modem before the next stream. Fun fact. You got data though.
It's still not doing anything.
No. Maybe you don't have data. So the Wi-Fi, this is actually what we experienced the other night, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't end the stream for a good 10 minutes. It just wouldn't go. Roston Chase, sitting on 34. Jules Stark. Bowls Dom, he's hoiked it. It's a big shot. I think it's going to be great, mate, from Nathan Lyon. Runs onto it. The veteran in the field, isn't he, Gazza? And that's going to be the last wicket falling. Roston Chase dismissed. Mitchell Stark gets him in the end. Roston Chase. 23. No.
I got 30.
Geez, that hasn't updated it. Oh, yeah. See, the scoreboard also doesn't update when the Wi-Fi is cut out. So that's when it cut out about, I'd say, 15 minutes ago.
Ah.
Fun fact.
34 off.
We can't actually check because the Wi-Fi gone.
55.
55, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
That'll sound nice enough, won't it?
So why is the Wi-Fi gone?
It just does it sometimes.
Oh, we got fibre.
We do. This might not even load here. Go across the bottom either.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, having trouble connecting. Please check your internet. Right, we're not going to have the score going across the bottom either, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, showing Warner and Kerry how to do the job. There's Zach. Okay, so the plan from here, ladies and gentlemen, is to watch Brian Lara versus Rashid Khan.
That's why I'm here.
And then to reset the modem before the 7s takes place. To end the live stream may be a bit tricky. You may have to look at the scoreboard that is wrong for a little while before it does. But yeah, it did this actually the other night. I think first night of the test match.
Did it rain? Was it raining?
Maybe a bit of rain.
Not there.
Maybe a bit of rain. Maybe. Oh, the rain's here sometimes.
Because we always had dodgy internet at work when it rains.
So West Indies 214. We're gonna. I was gonna put it up and down the bottom. Oh, can someone in the chat please write West Indies 214 all out? Can I write it in the chat? 214 all out. There we go. Can I send? Not having trouble connecting. Yeah. So someone else. Can someone please type it so that I can put it on the screen?
That's annoying, isn't it?
It's not the best thing to
Should
have.
I ring someone?
Thank you, TSM on G Fuel. There we go. That's all we can do, really. It's a scoreboard. You look bamboozled.
I'm pissed off if that's the case. I was supposed to be good.
It's only good when it works, eh?
Okay, I'll ring them tomorrow. And not ring them tonight.
You've been drinking, haven't you? Get a bit angry. My mum, ladies and gentlemen, do we get commission? Says Fluffy.
No. Bad luck.
Pretty quick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Currently, the next thing we're going to be doing, ladies and gentlemen, we will be watching Rashid Khan bowl to Brian Lara. And then after that, we're going to have to sort out the Wi-Fi before we get to the next day. So it's probably lucky we're only doing the first session of this one. Although throughout the lunch break, we would have been able to maybe get it back. It's funny because it's only certain parts, if that makes sense. Because the Sky's still working to an extent. I think if I tried to open Sky in a new tab, it would stop working. In fact, it might cut out at some stage soon. But it's still working for the streaming. You need batting practice, not a commission, says Jay. And how rude, says Fluffy. That was for us saying no commission. Just wait till sees that one. I was saying, because someone was like, what if you have 1% share in Tesla? And I said how I'd have a good old cricket studio set up, right?
You wouldn't be here.
What? But I'd have green screen right across the back wall so we can have our animations and whatnot. We'd have everything popping up, scoreboard all professional down the bottom, everything along those lines. And then, I guess so, and also a cricket net set up down the alleyway next to it with another camera set up so that we can do some nets and whatnot, show the way that the ball's bouncing.
Definitely in you.
And also have some wickets on the wall that when you press a button, they light up and the bails go off. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have money now, do I?
No.
No, I spent my whole bank account on that mango.
I got a lotto ticket.
Awesome, might one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I won a raffle.
That's true.
Yeah. And telepathy with the other dude. That was so funny.
Was it a big meat pack?
No.
No?
Because when he was about to, I said, just whispered to him. He was over there. And
Okay, he wouldn't have heard you.
Yeah. And he said, I've got her number.
How old was that man?
In his 60s.
Assisted by the hearing aid?
No.
No?
No.
Just
And
good
he
hearing?
picked out the number and it was my number. And everyone's going, it's her number.
Yes. God.
I thought it was great because I said pick my number and he did.
And you got a meat pack.
Meat pack.
So what was in it? Some sausages? They're normally in a meat pack, aren't
No.
they?
Couple of meat patties and a couple of steaks.
Okay. What type of steak? Are they like those smacked tenderized steaks or are they
No, ribeye.
ribeye? Ooh, okay. Bit fancy.
That's small.
We're eating good tonight.
That's small, but
Okay. That'll
yeah.
do.
Did you see the results?
Yeah. 2 penalty shootouts.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we picked Brazil.
Mm. They lost. I picked Netherlands to win an extra time.
They
They
lost.
lost. Yeah. Right. There's a lot of people watching Brian Lara.
You did say there'd be a few upsets.
Rashid Khan. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are still here, be sure to leave a message in the chat just so that we know that it's still working. We haven't seen a message for a little while. Don't know whether or not that's because people aren't typing them or because we can't actually see them at this stage. Rashid Khan, we bowling a Brian Lara. That'd be pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so they've actually said they're going to start it with Test cricket style of batting, and then they're going to go to T20 style. 131 Test matches for Brian Lara. We may actually just be talking to ourselves here.
Oh.
But that's all right. We still get to watch it, don't we?
No, is it not?
It may not still be connected.
Oh, so they can't hear us.
Maybe not. Have you got data?
Yeah.
Would you like to go on the live stream? Check if it's there. Ryan Charles Lara on strike to Rashid Khan. I don't think you got your Wi-Fi on. How do you get your menu up? I think in your settings, put your data on. Mobile, no, not that one. This one. Mobile data says it's on, so you have to turn your Wi-Fi off. How do you turn your Wi-Fi off? We'll go like this one moment. Go like that, go like that, turn that off. And we go like that. Now you're good. Now you can go on YouTube. See how we're going. Whether or not we're still up, I have no idea. Nothing's really happening, is it? Says we're live.
No, it's not that one. Oh, it is.
Are we still live? We're still live. Okay, we can't read the chat, ladies and gentlemen, but we've now got it on my mum's phone. So, we've got there, we can hear and see you. Do you have any siblings? Have none, says Shish. I have got a sister who's a bit older. I'll concentrate on fluff ball. Bar practice is overrated. Said Fluffy there as well. Right, we've got the chat up here. We just can't see it on the computer.
No.
We can't see how many people are watching or anything like that. We've got 187 on there, but it's been like that for the past 15 minutes. Right, Brian Lara, the left-hander. Okay, Rashid Khan has said he's not going to tell Brian Lara What delivery he gives them. Right, what does he bowl straight away? Rashid Khan bangs it in. Quick delivery. Maybe wide down the leg side. That camera work wasn't the best, was it?
That was shocking.
You didn't actually see where that ball went. Quicker than some of the bowlers he's seen out there on the field.
Don't tell Shish you got a sister.
Dragged it down a little bit. That's a nice shot from Brian Lara.
He was always a class.
Okay, he said he's at a mid-wicket there, Rashid Khan. Trade you 2 goats for your siblings. Says Fluffy there. It's a generous offer, isn't it? Except a couple goats.
I don't think his sister would agree with that.
Oh, yeah, but nicely played by Brian Lara. He's a happy man at the moment, isn't he? 2 off the middle. Brian Lara. Like they're saying, he's a quick bowler.
And a Google Play.
Google Play card. That's the icing on the cake, isn't it?
Is it really?
He doesn't love a Google Play card. But dragged down. The wrong one. Brian Lara he can still knock him around, can't he?
Of course he can. Wasn't he playing in he's normally in the
those charity matches.
Charity matches here in January.
And also we have got their Adelaide Flavia's go. Which person do you love the most? Well, I probably wouldn't pick out on appearance which one I love the most overall. Oh, dragged down. The wrong one. Goes through Brian Lara there. No edge, so he's happy. He's got the kookaburra in hand, Brian. I don't think that's what he used to bat with, was it? Trying to drag it down. Oh. Quick leg spinner. It's what Howard's called for here. The Brian Lara. And away. He's quick hands. Good wrists.
Yeah.
From Brian Lara. Number 2, he's set at the moment. Very quick, says Brian there. For anyone wondering what we're commentating at the moment, it is actually Brian Lara facing off against Rashid Khan. Straight after this, we're going to be probably checking on the Wi-Fi again, as it has cut out a few times. Another over of Test cricket. Number 2. I feel like this is quite a hard angle for Rashid, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right-hander bowling to left-hander, trying to get it to go across him. Rashid Khan. Oh, what a shot that is from Lara.
He was class.
I think Rashid's going to start getting angry soon, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's that kind of competitive nature.
Yeah.
The thing is, if Brian was a right-hander, this would be completely different. This kookaburra bat's a strong, good bats. Oh, decent. Khan thought it was decent. I think Rashid Khan's microphone's playing up a little bit here. And they are. I use my old cookie to bash in my tomato steaks. And most people don't usually believe trolls, says Jay. Yeah, it is always hard to tell, of course, but if that is the scenario, it is very sad. Or shish. Right. Going to be the end of the over. Okay. So Rashid Khan currently is saying it's hard to bowl to him in the long format, which I guess builds into him bowling in the short format now to him.
Yep.
I like to see him go around the wicket. Get that ball to really come back into him. Or the final of a World Cup. Oh, he agrees on 12. Okay. Lara said because he's 53, they need short boundaries. Throw him at the crease. Jug time, wish me luck. 3 on the leg side, mid off cover. Too tight. Okay. I'm excited for this. Oh, you're appealing. The outside leg, they've said. Doesn't go to me, so it's fine. It's the comment from Rashid Khan for the leg buy off him. Oh, not giving us out. No, it's not Rashid Khan still giving it out, but that's going to be a dot ball now.
Nice.
They're saying not time for a super over. Rashid Khan now. Cut away.
Oh, that's going to be 4. Yeah, it's going to be 4.
4 runs. Brian Lara. People who don't know what's going on in terms of the nets and whatnot will think that Brian Lara has stepped up to bat for the West Indies now. He's just decided to join their side.
7 from 3.
Drag down.
Oh.
Just
Oh.
one. They're both very competitive, aren't
Yeah, very.
they? Brian would be a handy inclusion. Oh, like single. 4 for the super over, 6 for the win for Brian. Gonna be bowling a leg spinner here,
No, he's
Rashid
not
Khan.
going to. He's going to bowl something else. Who said is he? Can he hear me?
Oh, it's a tie, they've said, between them. That is going to be possibly the end of this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. While we do prepare for the next Stevens one, it is going to be taking place at about 8:05. I believe it's West Indies 211 or 214 all out, sorry, from Shush. Yeah, a little bit disappointing from the Windies. We haven't seen whether or not it's going to be the Australians or the West Indies batting again, though. I believe it is Australia who will be going out. Oh. Says Rashid Khan's not in top form at the moment. And also, cheers, Amish, take care, mum. So I believe, if I'm not wrong, when I try and click on this end live stream button, it's not actually going to end. So what we will be doing instead, I believe, is turning off the Wi-Fi. So if I go like this, ladies and gentlemen, we may be gone now. We'll see you all for the next one. I click that button, having internet trouble, we can't actually end the live stream.
So you want me
That's
to
what
turn
happened
it off?
last time. I might be able to get to the YouTube studio and end it that way, though. That's how we managed to do it last time. No, unavailable offline. We're not going to quite be able to get there. The Windies Cricket's live. What have they got on there? I can't see because we got no Wi-Fi. But, ladies and gentlemen, the plan now is going to be to end this live stream through forced connection smackage.
You
I
want me
guess
to
is the
turn
best
it off?
saying. Yes, please.
See you later.
So what we're going to do is you guys will be able to see for quite some time just the scoreboard. Then the stream will randomly end. And that's when you know that the Wi-Fi is cut out. In fact, it may not even end when I click on it. So more than likely it will hang around for a bit and then it will end relatively quickly after. But I do thank you all very much for being here. Smash that like button. Says Jay Erd, the man. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, we're going to be back for session 1 tomorrow, which I believe will be when the West Indies are batting. Right. Anytime you like to, mum. And we'll Right, we are back very briefly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for those who did stick around. The Wi-Fi is now sorted out. Should be back ready to go for the sevens that we have got just around the corner. That first live stream will be at 8:05 p.m. between New Zealand and Kenya, straight away followed by Samoa versus Japan at 8:29. Then we've got a bit of a break coming back in at 10:19 for the match between South Africa and Fiji. And then those are all the live streams for today. Then at just after midnight, tomorrow morning, there will be the women's game between New Zealand and Fiji. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Anyone who's just tuning in now, there's a big lead on the board for the Australians, leading by 297 runs. Can you see my messages? I can now. We had a bit of a Wi-Fi problem. They hadn't been coming through for a little while, but I do see they're easy dubs for Australia, and that is exactly what they will be hoping to do. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all for the sevens.